It's time for Intelligent Machines. Our guest, Emad Mostaque, is the founder, the guy who created Stable Diffusion. His latest intelligent internet is creating small AI models for use in medicine and elsewhere. Fascinating interview next on Intelligent Machines.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Intelligent Machines with Jeff Jarvis and Paris Martineau, episode 847, recorded Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. Caked up football man. It's time for Intelligent Machines. Yes, the show where we cover AI, robotics, and of course all the smart little doohickeys all around us, getting smarter all the time. Paris Martineau is not here because this is a pre-record for this interview. Jeff Jarvis is Professor of Journalistic Innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism, Emeritus. I forgot the Emeritus. At the City University of New York. He's at Montclair State University in SUNY Stony Brook, author of the Gutenberg Parenthesis and Magazine. Oh man, I got it all in without the jingle.
Yay!
That's because Benito is not pushing the buttons today. Anthony Nielsen filling in. We're doing it early, a pre-record earlier this week. This is why Paris can't be with us. She's got a day job. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about our guest this week, Emad Mostaque. Is it Emad? Let me ask you, is it Mostaque?
I think so.
Yeah. Mostaque?
Mostaque's fine.
Okay.
I heard all the variations. Whatever.
You may not know the intelligent internet, II.inc, although that is the best domain TLD I've ever seen. But perhaps you will have heard of something called Stability AI and Stable Diffusion. Emad, it's amazing that this is only 3 years ago that Stable Diffusion came out. It blew my mind, blew all of our minds. This was before ChatGPT 3. It was before we really understood the revolution that was about to hit us. But we were excited about it. In fact, I'm going to show you our Christmas card that year. We went out in front of the building and took a picture and then used Stable Diffusion. Now, just to give you an idea of how far we've come, it probably could be one-shotted now by ChatGPT, but just to give you an idea of how far we've come, our producer, the guy who did this, our AI guru, Anthony's on the line right now, made a little video of the process. He used Photoshop and Stable Diffusion to create a whole bunch of images. You said, Anthony, 200 images?
I don't recall. It was a lot.
And you could see there, back in the day, Stable Diffusion did its best. But eventually we came up with a Christmas card after would take little bits and Photoshop it in. He's making a gingerbread house out of the building. There he's got the candy cane. And we've come a long way. And yet, Emad, this was mind-boggling.
Oh, this is mind-blowing, yeah.
You really launched something into the world that people, I think, immediately grokked and got very excited about. We had no idea what we were going to see 3 years later. Emad's written a new book, The Last Economy, that talks about this revolution. That's really what I want. I didn't want to go back to the past. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you see as the future. You talk about the 4 big economic inversions. And this would be the fourth, you even say the fourth and final economic inversion, the pattern that breaks the world. What are you talking about when you say the intelligence inversion?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, about 30 years and AI years has passed since that was released, and now we're at this tipping point.
So it's 10 to 1. Okay, that's good to know. I'm going to keep track of that.
It's about 10 to 1. It certainly aged me a lot. I have to wonderful
You don't know age.
You're not alone.
Actually, Nano Banana Pro just came out today, which might be the final model.
It is mind-boggling. But there's a critical difference between what Google is doing, and admittedly, Gemini 3 and Nano Banana 3 Pro are amazing. We were playing with it yesterday, and it generated an image like that. It's really fast, but it's different. In fact, the difference. Well, let me give you a chance to finish the economic inversions, and then I want to talk about the word diffusion, because that's critical to the whole thing. So what is happening? What is this economic inversion?
So through history, the whole of our economy shifted. So it used to be that you had some land and you farmed on it. Then we kind of moved into the factory world, this kind of industrial inversion. And then we moved into service sector jobs. And the final thing is this intelligence inversion, whereby effectively what's going to happen now is as we move from these models that can one-shot things to longer range agents in the next 3 years or so, we are no longer the smartest things on the planet. We're no longer the most economically valuable things on the planet. In fact, our cognitive labor is probably going to have negative value because we'll be the dumbest people on any team. And so that's what we call the intelligence inversion. Whereby
That's a little depressing.
It is, it's not nice to be the one that drags everyone behind.
I have to say, though, there's not a lot of evidence yet. I mean, I certainly don't feel dumb compared to even the very smart output of ChatGPT 3. It's amazing what it could do, but it's not a general intelligence.
Oh, definitely not. I think the difference here is that we're moving from the last 3 years has been about prompt to output. This is the magic, right? But it was like having a really smart buddy that you tap on the shoulder and you're like, hey, can you give me this? And then,
right.
Yeah, blob. Now what we're doing is moving into multi-hour-long agentic processes that are proactive. So I've made websites before, and now I go on Replit, and a week ago they looked terrible and purple and all sorts of things. Now it can build fully dynamic interactive websites on the fly with Gemini 3.
In 1 week.
And it can, in 1 week, that's been the shift. And the actual building takes 2 minutes.
Is it the deep thinking? Is that what's making the difference?
It's these agentic flows that are proactive with verifiers. What it means is that you have an output and then it can adjust its own prompt in its own context to be proactive.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. And economically valuable work isn't tasks, single tasks, like make this image, make that. It's, I want to do a marketing campaign.
Right.
And bringing that all together and letting it go is what causes the real economic value. I think very few jobs have been lost due to AI so far. That's about to change. Literally in the next 1, 2, 3 years.
And there's a lot of speculation, including from AI companies, about where that starts. Where do you think the first, what's the first, as a snowball becomes an avalanche, who gets hit first?
So this is the crazy thing. There are some things like call center jobs, for example, which obviously have to be first to go. Like yesterday, we had Grok 4.1 fast being released, and it scores 98% on Bench, which is basically a customer service agent benchmark.
Amazing.
And it's 50 cents per million words. And so you think okay, that's probably going to go. But then the crazy thing is that these models have economies of scope. So one Nano Banana or Gemini or Quen model can do so many things. And it's less about the models themselves and the jobs and more about the mechanism of diffusion. Because there isn't that much difference to training a tax accountant to a graphic designer in terms of the process of training and then changing and the data collection aspect of that. It's just, how does that happen? And the way it happens, in my opinion, over the next couple of years is your company looks at everything you've said and created remotely, because keyboard, video, mouse, remote jobs are the first to go, and it builds a digital double of you. And then no one can tell the difference. You can even Zoom call you or chat to you and things like that. And these models can do that in a general way. So first thing to go is the remote jobs. Anything that can be done fully remotely, those are most at danger. And there's a lot of those.
I'm completely fascinated by the idea of the digital double, the digital twin. Jensen Huang talks about this in practically every one of his keynotes, which I watch them like they're movies, fascinated by them. And it strikes me as a really fascinating idea that as you can look at alternative futures for a factory or a warehouse or a car, we'll be able to do that in a sense with our lives. It strikes me is that here's other ways things can turn out. Kind of, it almost strikes me like there's a matrix and we're not in it. We can visit it once in a while. I'm curious about your view of that digital twin value. Is that one model that will, because you just kind of said that, is that you'll have this twin that is you that can do what you do well. Will we see that as a good thing or a bad thing or an aid, or how does that work?
It can be both either, again, companies, you don't really want to fire people. You want to actually be more effective first. And when the economy's good, that's
You
what
need to
can
tell
do.
that to the tech industry because they have had a year of firing people.
I mean, they hired a lot of people post-COVID, right? And
Right.
so on trend, it's still pretty much normal.
Okay.
It's just a lot of high growth companies have stopped hiring. Eric Ben Loftenson had that study recently showing that early stage hiring may be slowing down, but we haven't really seen it massively because people are just more productive. I think the thing here that's really scary, though, is people don't understand how cheap a unit of intelligence has become. When GPT-3 came out, it was $600 per million tokens. So it's about like 1.3 tokens a word. These are little blocks that we chop up. Now, GPT-5 was $10, and the latest Grok models are 50 cents. Now, what does that mean? If you add up the total amount of words you speak in 1 year, it's 10 million. So it's $5 on Grok. The total amount you think is 10 times that, 100 million. So about $50. And these tokens are getting smarter and smarter. So when you actually look at how much it costs to replace an accountant and all the cognitive labor they do and extrapolate it a year or two, the answer is about $10 a year.
It's not just token output, though. It's also context. And this is one of the issues. You have to have enough context to store all of the information about you that you want the AI to use, right?
Yeah.
How do we solve that?
When you train the models really well, they can understand context really, really well. That's why it was language models are few-shot learners was one of the original papers that kicked this all off, the original Google paper.
Right.
You train a generalist model through curriculum learning, like taking it through school, and then it can learn things really quickly, like Stable Diffusion learned your face and made you into an astronaut and things like that.
Right.
And if you look at the total amount of knowledge that needs to go into the latest models, from language and operational processes to Sunday Robotics, had a new way of doing the manipulation via just cameras on the hands. It's actually relatively small once you get the architectures right and once you get the pre-training right. And the error rates have basically gone from like 30-40% down to almost zero, literally in the last quarter or so. So that's why it can learn new tasks so quickly.
One of the things we were amazed at last week playing with Gemini 3 is that it knew events up to the minute. It was able to, it was so much smarter than previous models, which did, said, well, my model ends in 2024, so I have no idea about that. And then it would hallucinate. Is that what we're seeing? Is that it's able to, absorb more information in a more efficient way?
Yeah, and it's smarter as a start, and it can absorb more information smarter. And GPT-5 was the first one that literally had a drop in hallucinations from 20% down to the single digits, 2 or 3%. But then something like a Gemini 3 has a a million token context window. Yeah, which means that you can upload almost a million words of context in one go, and it can just analyze that once. And there's the cost for the first lot of that, like uploading a code base, and typical code base is about 200,000 tokens. But then there's something called cached learning, effectively, whereby once you've translated that code base or that instruction manual into AI vectors, as they're called, the next query is 10, 20 times cheaper and faster. Wow. You just have to do the differences. So that's why these things are falling in price so much, even as the per unit token intelligence is increasing. And then that means that to replace a virtual worker in a year, probably be a few $100, including the video streaming, where you can Zoom call them or talk to them on the phone 11 Lab style and things like that.
Douglas Adams said the first people we're going to send into to another planet will be the telephone sanitizers and the customer service reps. So maybe AI will help us in his dream.
Maybe.
Actually, telephone sanitizers will need, I don't think AI can replace them. Whether they need to exist in the first place, I don't know. So that means
lots of robots coming, eh?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Telephone sanitizing robots. Here they come. So what does that mean for us as humans? Are we going to be replaced as workers? Certainly as knowledge workers, right?
I mean, consciousness and computation are divorced for the first time. And any job that teaches you to be a machine, the machine will be able to do it better. And most jobs are that, right?
Yep. Robots have replaced assembly line workers in auto factories.
But now it's the cognitive input of unstructured stuff. Like very few jobs require you to be that creative, really. And even when you're talking about creativity, I mean, K-pop outperforms like top-notch music, right? Like people know what they want to consume.
Okay, we have some K-pop fans in the audience, so Emad doesn't mean to insult you, but I agree.
It's all good. I went to a sing-along K-pop Demon Hunters on the weekend with my daughter.
Did you?
Like, it's
how
fun. It's premium mediocre. You know, like K-pop, Taylor Swift, all of this. It's premium mediocre.
That's good news because humans, I mean, if you give a human a choice, they'll prefer a creative task to a boring, repetitive task.
Well, this was the promise of technology, right? It would free us up for the higher things in life. But the key thing is, what is our identity? Like, if your identity is tied up in your work and things like that, the material aspects, then you're in trouble. If you've got a strong community, strong faith, if you've got a strong family, then you're less likely to be affected by all of this, right?
Well,
And
you
can
did
look at the flip
mention
side.
material aspects. You still have to buy food and pay rent. Who's going to give
100%.
me a salary?
So this is why we need to rethink what money is. Because the other part of this, when you extend this, is how does a human company outcompete a fully AI company? And then you look at what Elon is doing with Macro Hard, his new version of Microsoft. He's just going to create 1 million AI workers. And they're going to be selling SaaS solutions. And they're going to be selling databases and all these things. And you won't be able to tell. That's what Macro Hard is doing.
Yeah.
That's the real total addressable market for this $1 trillion of spending on all these GPUs. Each GPU replaces 10 cognitive workers.
So this weekend I went to what turned into a debate between Adam Brown at DeepMind and Jan LeCun, who just announced yesterday finally that he is leaving Meta. And as you know, DeepMind and Adam were arguing the case that scale will get us everywhere, and that look at the velocity and look at the vectors where we're on, and if we just throw more scale at it, we'll be there. Jan has been disagreeing with that and saying that LLMs hit a dead end. They can only do so much, and that real-world modeling is the necessary next paradigm and next step. Where do you stand on that debate of scale versus research in new paradigms and new categories?
So I think there's this concept of satisficing, right? Good enough, fast enough, cheap enough to replace machine-type jobs. I think we're there. I don't think you need to have any more breakthroughs. Scale was a substitute for terrible quality data in these models.
That's
like
a good point.
really, the model data was terrible. It's like sous viding a steak, right?
Right.
Now we're seeing more and more efficient ones, and the low end of how much it actually needs of energy for a unit of work is incredibly low. Like we built a 7 billion parameter medical model that performs at ChatGPT levels on healthcare.
That's tiny.
And that runs on a Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So it scores 48% on Health Bench, which is OpenAI's health kind of benchmark. Human doctor scored 20%. So it's like, how much energy is that? That's like a Raspberry Pi plus 5 watts of solar will get you a better than human doctor diagnostician. Like, how crazy is that, right?
Still using LLMs.
Still using LLMs. LLMs are good for certain types of tasks. Diffusion, I think, will win out over that for various reasons.
That was my next question to you. Yeah, play that out.
But if we just kind of finish this thought, if you're trying to build AI God that can do everything, all singing, all dancing, we need to have different approaches. If you're trying to replace an accountant, not really.
Right.
You know?
So it's not one master AI. It is a whole army of AIs that are able to do certain things better than the accountant.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we're seeing it right today. Or you're seeing again, people listening to this can go to Nano Banana, like that's a graphic designer job gone.
Right.
You know, you can upload your style guide, you can upload up to 14 different things and it will do it. And you're like, that is a unit of economic work. And then when you use that in a Replit type agent or an II agent, our version, then you can see how that's going to start replacing economic work. But will it discover the mysteries of the universe or advanced chemical sciences? No, but come on, you know, like that's different.
We're talking to Emad Mostaque. He is the guy who created Stability AI, brought us Stable Diffusion 3 years ago. His current company is Intelligent Internet at II.inc. And you can get his book, The Last Economy, right there. He's giving it away. It's in EPUB versions, PDF versions. He's even, I think this is interesting, providing a Notebook LM version, a Chat and a ChatGPT version, and a Claude version. So if you want to read the summary instead of the book, it's also possible.
Or if you want to interact with it and quiz it.
Yeah, I would say read the book first and then use Notebook LM to ask questions. But fortunately, we don't have to do that because we've got Emad here. This is very encouraging. 2 weeks ago, we talked to Kevin Kelly, who said the future of AI is little AIs everywhere. Just as in the way that computing has gone to the edge, we're going to see AI in the edge. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I think it can be, right? And this is going to be really interesting because everyone forgets about the Jarvis future, right? Like, right now...
We have Jeff Jarvis here right now. What is the Jarvis?
Let me tell you what the future is. Yes.
Well, the Iron Man Jarvis future.
Yes.
Oh, that Jarvis.
I know.
I mean, I want to walk into my house and have Paul Bettany talk nicely to me. You know?
I do.
Yeah.
That's why I bought the Framework desktop, because I want a local LLM, but I'm running 120 gigabyte model on it, the GPT OSS on it. That's huge, and it's slow. It's 20 tokens a second. You're saying I could run on this machine, I could run something much, much smarter, enough to be a Jarvis.
Well, I mean, if you'd got a MacBook M4 Max, then you'd be running that at over 100 tokens a second, right? Again, we can have optimized versions of this.
Right.
But the whole thing is this. In a few years, we will have an AI that's our best buddy for all of us. And that might be an edge one, or it might be Claude 8 or Grok 9. And that's got a huge impact on the way we will view the world, the way that our own cognition behaves, and more, because these AIs will be the most persuasive things in the world that we've ever seen. Already in studies, like they did a study on Reddit where they created a black anti-Black Lives Matter persona and all sorts of others last year. It scored 98th percentile on persuasiveness.
Yeah.
The new models, will smash that. So I think when you're thinking about edge, when you're thinking about that, the defaults that emerge now are going to be so important in the way these go. And then the architectures right now are all about the same. But I think you will see a big differentiation in what those architectures look like to suck up this ridiculous amount of compute coming. Because
are we overbuilding the compute?
For LLMs, yes. LLMs, I don't think will require much compute.
So will this be like
models,
fiber being overbuilt in the day, that this could turn into the bubble bursting, or it could turn into an asset that we find new uses for, no?
Every pixel will be generated in a few years. And so the vast majority of compute will be diffusion models, which do media, which do self-driving cars, which will do economic planning and more. LLMs themselves, once you actually optimize the data, are very, very small. Mm-hmm. And the way you can think about it is a code base. An average program is 100 to 200,000 lines of code. You know how you see those things of Gemini one-shotting it? In a few years, it will definitely be able to one-shot any reasonable program. So the cost of building that will be 1 cent when you extrapolate that.
Some have said, though, that it's rebuilding programs because it's seen all the previous versions. Can these AIs create new ideas? Can they be creative?
Well, it depends on your definition of creativity, right? Like, again, is K-pop Demon Hunters creative?
No.
Well, I think it is.
I mean, that's essentially it is, though.
Yeah.
It's generative in the sense that it takes things and mushes them. I mean, that's what Stability Diffusion did, right?
Yeah, I mean, the way that these models work is that you take the image and then you have a process where you add noise to basically destroy it back to its tiniest possible form, and then you have a reconstruction process, and it learns that process. And that works for self-driving cars, and it works for Sora 2 and all sorts of other things. And it just does that all day long. These models learn principles. That's why they have the concept called the latent space of these concepts and the way they all come together. It isn't an if this, then that type of logic flow. It's more like a filter or a sieve that you push it through. So when you kind of look at that, it becomes really interesting to think about how things are going to be going forward, because, like I said, for language, which is a very low dimensional output, these models are getting better and better and better, so you have less and less steps to get to your desired outcome. When it comes to creativity and filling in the gaps and concepts like that, creativity is usually within a context. So if you have Barbie and Oppenheimer and you make Barbenheimer, that's creative, within a certain context.
Right.
But then again, if you want to have material sciences breakthroughs or mathematical breakthroughs, that feels a bit different.
Right.
Where you need different verifiers. It's all about the verifier. How can you verify if something is creative, if something has market value? That's the really interesting question that we're moving into now.
Yeah.
Is diffusion you're a good advocate for diffusion, and nobody better than you. Are LLMs sucking up too much oxygen in the air, or investment, or resource today versus diffusion? Is there a misalignment of prioritizing resources there in research and in development?
I think in research, yes. Again, diffusion coding models like you've seen from Stefano Amon's new lab and others like that for code, they're almost instant in the way they output. But what happens is most labs now that do media, like Sora 2 is a diffusion transformer. So it mixes the best of the two together. So I think that the hardware itself can do both. But like I said, my view is that the amount of compute going to transformers is actually going to shrink because they're going to get more and more efficient and satisfice. The amount going towards diffusion is going to grow because every pixel will be generated. By next year, you have Hollywood level movies created almost on the fly. And
so what do we do about, what do you recommend about the cultural, economic, labor resistance? In New Zealand, 2 books were on the list to be given an award, and they got taken off because their covers were generated by AI. The authors didn't do it.
That's absurd.
The publisher did it, right? And I'm in journalism, and so I hear a lot of pearl clutching about where AI goes, and so there's a cultural issue here, and the PR of the AI industry is not necessarily tip top all the time. Right? And they're also the ones who argue paradoxically that we're going to rule the world and destroy the world, and so it's a really interesting cultural shift here. How do you see that coming as people lose jobs, as people resist? How do you show the benefits in opposition to that fear?
So I think if we start with the fear, I know a lot of AI leaders now have cancelled all public speaking because they're basically saying next year is the backlash, because next year the jobs start to go. You can kind of extrapolate that from the agents and find that out. And that's because, again, they're not doing the positive side of things. Like, again, this technology we have enough food in the world, we just don't know how to get it to people, We have enough knowledge in the world, we just don't know how to get it to people. Having, like, one of our targets is by next year, with our new version of our medical model, every single medical decision in the world will have a second diagnosis. And that will be free, and it will work on a 10-year-old computer. Like, that's a really positive use of this technology.
Yes.
But then you can't deny, for example, when you only have to shoot a scene once in a movie, and then you can use Nano Banana Video 5 in a couple of years to redo that from any angle and then adjust the acting performances, a lot of jobs in LA are going to go.
Yep.
And a lot of jobs in anything production-based is going to go.
Do we have UBI? How do we feed people? How do we... You say there's sufficient resources.
There is, but things like UBI don't work because of the math. Like, the entire US tax base right now, if income tax and corporation tax, is $5 trillion a year. If you gave every adult in America $16,000 a year, that's $5.1 trillion.
Yep.
And that's minimum. That's like poverty level, right?
Right.
The entire corporation tax base of America is only $0.9 trillion. Like, even if you tax LLMs, it's not going to work. So in the book, I propose we change the way that money actually flows. We give everyone a universal AI to allow them to achieve parity, and that's looking out for them as well because the alignment is important. And then we give people money for being human that the AIs then need to buy from us because they'll outcompete us capitalistically. Like, fully AI companies, I don't know how you compete against them.
So Caleb in our YouTube chat says, if you weren't back to college now, Emad, or you were a young person today, what would you study?
I would probably not go to college.
Okay, what would you do? You wouldn't become a graphic designer, clearly.
No, I would use the AIs every single day, day in, day out, because in the transition period of the diffusion, those that know how to use the AIs, like, what's going to be better and more likely to get you a job? Like, one of the Sora leads, what he did is he just built websites using AI and then analysis and other things using AI, and he submitted that as his resume, talking about it. That's far more likely to get you a job than being programmer number 15.
Yep.
If you just use Replit, Suno, all these things for an hour a day, then you're way ahead in a job or outside of a job.
Hey, good news.
Because-
I'm going to be able to get a job, Jeff. I use all of these at least an hour a day. Yeah.
You will marshal your millions of agents, right?
Right.
And then destroy your enemies.
I will have an army of agents.
No,
One of the
that
things
is literally it. Yeah.
One of the things you talk about, which I really like, is that we've got to find a way to make AI more democratic. In fact, you even talk about globally more democratic. The front page of Intelligent Internet, your website, II.inc, says sovereign AI for a new world. What does that mean?
So sovereign AI is kind of AI that is controlled and aligned with you. So part of it is giving everyone universal AI by the local champion model will release soon.
Not free access to ChatGPT, not Claude on your desktop, but your own AI.
Your own AI. And I think you start with that, but then that AI can call on Claude. It can call on Gemini if it needs to. Like I don't want my child being taught by ChatGPT,
right?
But I'm fine with her having an AI that can
access
use
to
ChatGPT.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so that control plane layer is so important, especially because our governments will be run by AI. Our cities will be run by AI. Healthcare will be managed by AI. That first AI that's next to us, our assistant AI, our Jarvis AI, or however you want to call it, is going to be the most important one. So I think that needs to be sovereign. It needs to be fully open source. It needs to be fully transparent because the biases in the AI are crazy and they're already selling latent space in the AI. So Google and Meta are already selling it so that if you say a beer, it says a Bud Light.
Yeah, those are ads, basically.
And it turns out they have far higher conversion rates than Google ads. Mm-hmm. So your Meta mates, or whatever they're going to call it, is going to be like, you look a bit tired. You want a beer. Crack open a Bud Light. Let me order it for you.
We got to stop this. And we got to nip this in the bud.
Well, and meanwhile, media companies are determining themselves to be the victims of AI, and AI is the enemy. So they're cutting off AI. So journalism and media are being excluded from that conversation, and brands are rushing in, as our disinformation forces are rushing in, because they're eager to be referenced by the AI. And we're headed toward a ridiculous imbalance there because of that resistance.
Is the only defense me having my own AI protecting me against that?
Yeah, from your cognitive, it's your only defense against cognitive colonialism.
Yeah, I love this. I think this is brilliant. Tell me what AI before we have to wrap it up, Jeff, because we could talk to Emad for hours, but we don't want to take too much of your time. We want you to get back to work. Tell us what you're doing at II.inc.
We're just building full stacks for education, health, government, and more. So we announced something Sage. So
and these are small models. These are diffusion models. What are they? What are you doing?
So full stack. So fully open models are coming soon. But we just built the world's best agent, for example, scored #1 on Terminal Bench 2, and we're just going to give that free to everyone, basically.
When we talked to Jeffrey Cannell at News, he was very excited, very worried about the fact that everything's based on Llama right now, Meta's open source AI, and he was worried what happens when Meta pulls the plug on Llama. So this might be the solution, right? Is where do you start though? Do you start with Llama? Do you start with somebody else's model?
Yeah, we start with other people's models because you got to build the agentic framework first. Then you build the high quality feedback data, and then you train really optimized models from scratch that can be localized and reflect local culture, ethics, values, and more. Because right now AI models don't even have any ethics programmed into them, not even the laws of robotics, Yeah. And so we're like, someone should probably build that for the civic AI, side of things.
One thing people have said, and you quote benchmark results, you get excellent benchmark results already on many of these tiny models. Is that it's possible to overfit for benchmarks to really just put the answers in. Are you? I want to ask you. You're not doing that, are you? You're not training them to beat benchmarks?
Oh no, we're not training them to beat benchmarks. But I'm trying to build something very different, which is education, health, government type AI, whereas everyone else is trying to build AI God. And that's a very different challenge.
Let's not do that.
You don't want your medical model to be trained on Reddit.
No, right? No.
Right. Amen, doctor. Amen.
The really important models that make important decisions need to have fully transparent data, and they need to be given as a human right to everyone. And then it could call on the other black box models for whatever.
Right. I love one of the things you say in The Last Economy, which I love, is that a government that's run on AI will be updated daily. Your model will get better every single day. It's not stuck in time. It's going to always get better.
If you have self-driving cars, have a self-driving economy, right? Like, why not?
Okay. You know what? It makes people a little bit nervous. You're not a doomer, I take it.
Oh, my PDOOM's 50%. I think we're probably going to die 50-50 because of all this. So we got to do something about it.
Emad, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. I've heard you, of course, many times on Moonshot, Peter Diamandis' podcast, and you did not disappoint. Emad brought us 3 years ago the eye-opening stable diffusion from Stability AI. That was the beginning for many of us. It's hard to believe it was only 3 years ago, but 3 years has been a lifetime, and I can only imagine what's coming next. II.inc is his company, Intelligent Internet. And if you go there, you will find on the front page a link to The Last Economy, which is a guide to the age of intelligent economics, the inversion that's imminent. And I suppose if you're a young person, you probably should start thinking about what is next, because it's coming. The book is free and available online at II.inc.
Actually, the craziest thing is, so the book, we had like hundreds of agents analyzing it, and we figured out a unified theory of economics from it. So I'll send you the paper.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Wow.
Well, it's very straightforward. The best models to model reality are AI models. So what happens if you put them as your axiom in that any system that persists minimizes its surprise and loss function? You can derive all of economics from it.
You started life as a hedge fund manager, as a finance guy. If you were finance right now, asking for a friend who's living on his retirement, it's based on the S&P 500. What would you do? What would you start if you were starting your career now as a hedge fund or a finance guy? What would you do?
I mean, I think, again, it's just your comparative advantage is your access to structured intelligence. So the better you are at using multiple agents, the more valuable it's going to be.
AI seems to have failed so far at predicting the market, though. I haven't seen a model that can do as well as Warren Buffett, let's say.
There will be some, maybe.
Look at him. Look at him. Okay, and where would that be under releases?
Actually, free to all of us?
Actually, we have something really interesting coming up. So we announced in Saudi something called the Sovereign AI Governance Engine. So it's like a couple of thousand Blackwells to analyze all global policy and laws and update them real time with new technology.
Wouldn't it be great if all the laws worked together instead of in opposition to one another, right?
Exactly. So to implement that in universal AI, what we're doing for every single state in America and country, we're setting up state champions capitalized at $1 free money. And then all the locals can invest in that. And then we get the smartest people from each state to build AI for that state to act as nodes on the network. And then we list all of those. So you'll have II Utah, II Delaware, II California, II Vietnam, etc. And it's going to be really fun to see how that operates.
Wow.
The delta arbitrage on that's going to be ridiculous.
Now I understand why you're saying 50-50, because this could go really right or it could go horrifically wrong.
Well, so in the book, I think I mentioned what happens if you get a viral cognitive Stuxnet.
Right.
You have the same latent space everywhere, and then someone basically has a prompt.
And somebody will do this. Somebody will try to do this.
100%. And if the data is such a black box mess with 6 trillion or 80 trillion tokens for GPT OSS, 80 trillion words, then definitely the entire infrastructure will collapse. Like, my standard way of us all dying is 1 billion robots and one bad firmware upgrade. You know, that'll do.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it happen. First to AWS, then to Azure, and then to Cloudflare. So, if they're independent, then that prevents that. Is that the idea, or small?
Well, you've got to build really resilient first
like the internet
architecture. Yeah. And you can abstract away all the front ends if you do it correctly. So the new version of AI Agent that we're releasing in a month from now, you can just do all your front ends on the fly. And we're just making it more and more super resilient with its own complete architecture. So there's prompt injection, other kind of protections, because civic AI should be that way. And then you don't really need the internet if you do it correctly. So that's why we called it the Intelligent Internet.
And I can use your AI Agent right now on my Mac?
Yeah, you can download it. You can use it.
It's on GitHub.
Top on Terminal Bench. There's loads of updates coming. Like the next version, you'll be able to use up to, I think, 100 agents at once. And the CLI outperforms the other CLIs, etc. So
since I already pay for Anthropic and OpenAI, I can just plug those API keys in, and now I've got a multi-model.
You can log in with your Anthropic Claude or your OpenAI codex, and then you've got a full stack replit using that subscription. That's pretty fun.
I will do that. Yeah, I use Claude Code all the time. I love it.
Yeah, so this will do that.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see.
To come. I was like, build the general ones, and then let's build the really specific ones after. So we'll have the healthcare, education, government, and other things. But then to implement, that's what I was like, let's build the state champions. Like,
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, like, we talked in Utah and massive interest there. Like, if you have the locals getting in at $1, then the rich people can invest, and you can do $75 million per state from Reg A. And then the next round after that, you get the NVIDIAs and the Microsofts of the world to invest, and then you list them.
Are you worried about the regulatory environment? I know President Trump is rumored to be working on an executive order prohibiting state regulation.
No,
do you want no regulation? Would that be the ideal?
Oh, no, I think you should have loads of regulation. This stuff is so dangerous. I was the only AI CEO that signed that damn letter a few years ago, but that's why I built a regulation engine. So we'll send you the link a few weeks ago that we announced in Saudi with Peter. Like, literally, we're building on thousands of Blackwells a regulatory AI, a policy AI. That can say this regulation, this policy is unconstitutional. It's not in the interests of humanity. This is what happens when quantum advantage turns into quantum supremacy. These are the best standards, etc.
How do you do alignment on something like that, though?
Any way we want, I think is the problem right now. Well, this is why you need to impute the value and ethics of various communities, right? And you need to, again, have curriculum learning.
Each distinct community. Yeah, that's why sovereign is so important. I really think
we're made up of the stories that drive us, right?
Right.
And so you should have access to universal AI. But again, in Utah, 50% Mormon.
Right.
That should probably reflect LDS type things, right?
Right. But I'm in California. That's very different. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you would want your education AI to be done by a Californian,
right, or
someone from San Francisco or LA, and you want to be able to pick and choose what that looks like, right? So that's why we're building that full stack, and then we're going to proliferate these, and then we use all that compute to secure our Bitcoin competitor, because that'll be more diverse and a bigger compute than Bitcoin. But every coin sold then goes to Civic AI or Cancer AI or things like that.
That's a whole nother show I don't want to get into, but I love the concept of proof of benefit. I think that's a very interesting way to approach it.
Yeah, I need to do it properly. So look, I'll send you the paper. Have a read. It's quite fun. And like I said, it's a bit creepy though. And this is also why we'll have the next big leap. The biggest breakthroughs in AI aren't going to be really complicated things. It'll be really elegant things because the universe is elegant.
Oh, I love that idea. Can we have you back in about a year so you can take a victory lap?
No victory lap, but sure. Happy to come back anytime. Have a chat, It's a fun time.
Emad, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Emad Mostaque. We will have more of Intelligent Machines. Paris will join us in just a moment as we continue right after this. This episode of Intelligent Machines is brought to you by The Agency. Build the future of multi-agent software with Agency, AGNTCY, now an open source Linux Foundation project. Agency is building the Internet of Agents, a collaboration layer where AI agents can discover, connect, and work across any framework. All the pieces engineers need to deploy multi-agent systems now belong to everyone who builds on Agency, including robust identity and access management that ensures that every agent is authenticated and trusted before interacting. Agency also provides open, standardized tools for agent discovery, seamless protocols for agent-to-agent communication, and modular components for scalable workflows. Collaborate with the best developers from Cisco and Dell and Google Cloud, Oracle, Red Hat, 75 plus other supporting companies to build the next gen AI infrastructure together. Agency is dropping code, specs, and services, no strings attached. Visit agency.org to contribute. That's AGNTCY.org. We thank the agency for support. First of all, for doing what they're doing, an open source collective to really propel us forward. But we also appreciate your buying an ad on intelligent machines. And now, ladies and gentlemen, she's back. Paris Martineau joins the show. Paris is in Florida for Thanksgiving.
She's selling a few condos while she's down there.
I am,
At the family compound where you will be frying a turkey.
Deep frying a turkey.
Deep fat frying a turkey.
It's very important.
She's just back from media training, so now I'm extremely self-conscious. Please do not criticize me.
I will be making direct eye contact with the camera and limiting my filler words.
Please. And if you say kind of even once,
you have to shock me.
I have the means. I can do it. Let me just get my shocker button.
Like that.
And my shocker button ready here.
You need a button.
No, that's not it. That's not
That's
it.
a different kind of shocker.
No, that's it. No, careful. Wow, I don't know if I have the one.
Wow. Leo is taking a moment to come up with a sound cue.
Yeah.
What a world.
No Fred Norris, you.
The time is now 2 a.m.
No, that's not it.
If you're enjoying this part of the show, you should check out our Club Twit special of Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm still living that down. So sorry. So sorry. Paris is an investigative reporter at Consumer Reports and appears regularly on major television networks. Is that right? Is that why you're getting media trained? Are you going to be a spokesperson for CR?
No, it's just for whenever I do news hits like I did with my protein powder story. It's something that all employees, I guess, are supposed to do before they do their first media hit, but I had a banger right out the gate before it was
breaking news, so breaking news. No time for training.
I had to do a lot of media hits before, which is
I thought there was breaking news. Okay. All right.
No, it was Paris' breaking news.
Yes. By the way, it doesn't take long before our team of expert AI users can modify a picture and replace my protein bites with Soylent Green. The good thing is it's made of people. Less sugar, more love.
More love.
Yeah.
Human made, but not in the way you'd think.
I'm sorry, made with hands. I'm sorry you weren't here for Emad Mostaque's interview.
Leo.
Yes.
Oh, you already did the introductions. That's right.
I introduced you.
We did Craig's theme already. I thought you missed Craig's theme.
Was Craig's theme already?
We did it in the intro. I'm sorry.
I was surprised because Benito was not here for that interview, but Anthony Nielsen apparently knew the protocol and stuck it in anyway.
Required.
Fox News has hired Palantir to build AI newsroom tools. This just in. Palantir, of course, is the favorite poster child of the Trump administration, and David Sachs and Peter Thiel, who's a big investor, and the military uses their software to go through its databases and come up with insights. Fox Media has been working with them to, according to Axios, build a suite of custom AI newsroom tools alongside its journalists. I don't know what that means.
I guess it's better instead of, but
yeah, alongside. They'll be next to each other. I guess you could. There are definitely uses for AI, but you wouldn't want AI to start writing the news. Fox hired Palantir to essentially build a digital twin of its business, mirroring the workflows, data, tools, and systems the company uses to produce and publish its digital journalism. This is actually from the president of new media at Fox News, Porter Berry.
What it means.
Well,
in an alternative universe, this would be happening.
If you're shadowing your staff with AI, there can be but one possible reason, right? To replace them.
But it's going to be beside, not instead of.
Alongside.
Of course.
For now.
Our easily, fungibly replaceable news team. They initially focused on the repeatable, mundane tasks, things like SEO, keywords, and tagging. However, the companies have progressed to building proprietary tools to help journalists discover, produce, and distribute stories across the platforms. The produce part is the part I'm a little worried about. That means writing, editing, shooting.
Well, and discover. That's called reporting in the old days. What does that mean here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even use AI to discover the stories. I actually go by hand and read a lot of, tech journals and things. They have 3 main tools to improve efficiency. The first, this is the discovery tool, Topic Radar, helps reporters get up to speed on a story through a custom briefing. Now, we use that.
You do that.
For Emad Mostaque, for the interview we did earlier, Anthony Nielsen prepared a briefing book. I wish I'd had this my whole career as an interviewer. I mean, it really is very useful. It doesn't replace the research, but it's helpful.
Have you had guests call you on a mistake yet?
No, because there have been none.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
just the other week, you accidentally called one of our guests the co-founder of something when they weren't?
But that was probably my mistake. Almost always it's my mistake, misreading or misinterpreting what I'm reading. I might have.
So you're saying
I know I didn't. I tell you what, I didn't call Jimmy Wales a co-founder. I didn't do that.
That's true.
You remember Emily Bender, though, called me on giving her the wrong title. She said, you see AI, and it was actually the AI had it right. I was just misreading it. So I think, honestly, this is the thing. Humans make at least as many mistakes. I mean, we're asking an awful lot of AI to say never make a mistake. But it's also incumbent upon us to remember that mistakes will be made and not to trust everything 100%. They're also working. So there's Topic Radar. I don't think that's a bad thing. Unless it replaces research.
No, here's the problem. It replaces the worst thing that's happened to online journalism, which is just find out what's trending and then write a story about that.
Yeah, I hate that.
So this is basically, I think, a version of that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to replace an assignment editor with just write about whatever an
AI assignment editor
says. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting idea. The second tool, Text Editor, they could have used the AI to give it a better name than that. It's a word processor-like tool that evaluates copy for style and efficiency, checking for broken links and adherence to the Fox News style guide.
And if you say kind of, it shocks you.
That's true. I think that's very nice.
The third, Article Insights, analyzes the performance of Fox News digital articles to provide insights into how the stories could be optimized or improved.
Oh, boy.
You want to make that more linkbaity?
But everybody, including the New York Times, is A/B testing their headlines.
Yeah, humans do it.
Everybody.
Yeah. Like most newsrooms, Fox News won't use AI to generate editorial copy. Barry said this is a human end-to-end process. In the middle is AI.
Well, so we need to have on Kate Lee from Every. So it was a company started that does this. And so I was on a panel with her recently, and Kate was my agent back in the day. And she explained how they use it in their process, right? Does it take a piece and suggest improvements? And they don't accept all the improvements, but it's a tool for that. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm suspicious of Fox News and the vendor.
I would like to see that style guide, though.
Yeah, that style guide's got to be interesting.
You should have seen the one we had at Condé Nast, folks.
Why?
What you couldn't say about Anna's daughter.
Oh, they actually put that in there?
Oh, in the style
all that kind of
guide?
stuff is there. Oh, yeah, in a style
I wouldn't put that stuff in writing. I would say this is just a cultural
That's
thing.
just culturally, you can't publish that.
Yeah. I had the NBC style guide when I worked for MSNBC, and it was quite good. I actually saved it and I handed it out to Twit when we started Twit because I thought this is very useful for
Was there
media
anything
law.
in particular that stood up?
The one thing I really remember is if you're shooting video coverage out on the street, even though you're in a public place and technically legally allowed to have pictures of people, that they didn't want you to ever get anything that would be identifiable. And the way they defined it in the style guide was if a person's mother would recognize them from the image that you got, you need a release.
Well, that they don't do that.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. And we were very, very careful not to stage. Now, this is 20, 30
that
years
also
ago.
has changed. Yeah.
So, and this, I see it now.
What do you mean stage? Like stop people from walking into the shot?
That's minor staging. It would be more like, could you go
B-roll
back
is all
and
staging.
Yeah, could you go back and pretend to be reading that article again on your screen and let us get the opposite angle of that? Anytime you ask, it should be like candid camera. Anytime you ask the subject to do something, that's staging. You should only be capturing something they would be doing even if you weren't there.
They do that like crazy now.
Now you can always tell it's staged.
Everyone's always sitting at their computer tapping away.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're tapping in a way that doesn't even look like they're.
No, they're not even.
They're always like.
Editors need that for the cut, though, because when you cut the interview,
you see, you see, Benito, but that was old TV. That was mass, stupid plastic TV. The beauty with doing jump cuts were acceptable.
Before
you just have somebody snapping at the camera this time instead. Really make it.
Or
artsy.
you go in there and you just get a lot of coverage. And then, you
just do a jump cut.
Something. Or do a jump cut.
What do you say to that?
Well, jump cuts are only acceptable now because YouTube said so.
Right.
They weren't acceptable. You're
Before,
right.
that was like against all the rules of an editor. Like that was one of the first things they taught you as an editor is no jump cuts. Yeah.
Right.
What's his name?
What would you do instead of a jump cut?
Cover it with
So after you do the interview, they turn the camera around and they have you going...
Noddies. That's called noddies.
Or even re-asking the questions.
Yes.
And then you got cutaways. So if you're talking to I don't know who are you interviewing? You're talking to RFK Jr. and you want to chop it up in a way and put some words into his mouth. You just cut away to the reporter going, and then you can edit to your at will. But that's why I like jump cuts because it's more honest. At least there's an edit there. Right?
What's the name of the guy who made jump cuts famous online, who became the head of video at BuzzFeed?
Zay Frank.
Z Frank, yeah. Right. Zay or Z?
I always said Zay.
It's probably like Leo versus Leo. Yeah. It's fancy.
He also, the other thing he was famous for, we were just talking before the show about not blinking. He was famous for cutting his video up in such a way that he would never blink.
That's right.
It would be a little more compelling if he stared right in the camera and never blinked. But of course, nobody doesn't blink, so he would cut out the blinks. That's why he had jump cuts.
Looking at the camera and not at her notes.
It's really hard not to blink. I'm really trying hard, but I'm wearing
Don't blink.
It's really hard.
It's difficult.
Don't blink.
This is great audio, guys. This is really compelling.
No, I think people at home can hear you not blinking.
I do think they can. I think they can hear me getting a little sweaty.
It hurt.
I can't remember. Did we talk about the potential draft order from the president?
We did. It
state
came
laws?
in during the show, and we talked about it at the end of the show.
That's because I got jumped on that one because normally I would not have reported it because it was the president plans or is thinking of doing something, and I don't like to say something until it's done. And in fact, it didn't happen. Although there is a little coda on this. The White House, this is from Reuters, has put a hold on a draft executive order that would seek to preempt state laws on artificial intelligence through lawsuits and by withholding federal funds, two sources said on Friday. The important part of the story is they realized, we don't have to do that. We'll just put that in the Defense Authorization Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, which is never not passed because unlike
authorize the defense.
Unlike say food stamps, you can't not pay for defense. So Republicans in Congress are going to add that provision to the National Defense Authorization Act, which is a famous place for people to put, pork and amendments and so forth, because it always gets passed. It's very rarely that stuff gets removed from it. So, we don't need an executive order. It's funny because Marjorie Taylor Greene opposed the effort. States must retain the rights to regulate and make laws on AI. Federalism must be preserved.
Everything's confusing now.
It's so confusing. Amy Klobuchar also said that would be unlawful. Public Citizen said in a statement that AI was already causing massive harms making it almost unfathomable that the administration would want to block sensible state regulation. Honestly, if the feds made a regulation, that would be preferable to 50 different state regulations.
There's that too.
The feds are probably not going to do that. Oh, actually, there is a story about that. We are building Skynet. Did you see? Did
Skynet!
You see this executive order on AI?
This is not necessarily a bad thing. Explain it first.
Skynet, not necessarily a bad thing.
It's
find your rays of hope where you may.
I find my rays of sunshine in between the clouds of Skynet.
It has a much more benign. It's called the Genesis mission, which makes it sound like,
I would argue that sounds
that sounds evil.
That sounds like
that definitely
Skynet.
sounds evil.
That sounds like we're going to take the top 20 richest people and send them to a secret second moon.
Isn't that how Spock was brought back to life?
Yes, the Genesis. Anyway, under the new Genesis mission, this is Lisa DiCiccio, a good friend of the network, writing for CNN. Under the new Genesis mission created by executive order, the Department of Energy will develop a new AI platform that uses federal scientific data. By the way, most of this data has always been siloed, which has always been a complaint, right?
Right, exactly. That's why it's good to bring it together.
Coming out of the Lawrence labs and other national labs where our taxpayer money funded the research has been kept secret, mostly because a lot of it's weapons research, and we don't want the enemy to know it. But anyway, this will finally take the lid off this federal scientific data. Why? To train AI models and agents for scientific research. The Genesis mission aims to take the tech and business industry's progress in AI and apply it to scientific research in health, energy, manufacturing, and other fields. Now, admittedly, we scaled way back on human scientists, but I guess this is to replace it. This is to replace it. The DOE, Department of Energy, these amazing laboratories have been conducting research in everything from energy to health, applied materials, and quantum science for decades. But this information has never been released. So now private companies and academic institutions can share this information. Research will have access to it, and AI will have access to it. I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, it seems like a good thing.
What models?
It's data that we paid for.
Who's getting
that's ours.
the data?
That's a good question.
There was
Grok?
reference. I
is
think,
this how we're using Grok?
I think we're going to send it to the Saudis and then let them crank on it. I don't know. The thing that stood out to me was the Genesis mission.
All of our scientific research in the U.S. makes oblique references to Elon Musk being the most brilliant man in the world.
Multiple federal agencies and the private sector will be able to use this information to, quote, win and stay ahead in the AI race.
Well, if that's all they're going to do with it, then it's great.
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it. I just would like more transparency on it.
I'd like to know
whose models are we using? Who's overseeing
is it available
the process?
for anybody else? It should be open.
What's happening to the data? What are the checks and balances?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good questions there.
Yeah. Secretary Chris Wright of the Department of Energy briefed reporters on Monday. He said the program will lower energy prices for consumers, and that turkey on your Thanksgiving table will cost a lot less next year.
What? He thinks that this is going to... No, the first part, that this is going to lower energy. Really?
The first part, yeah. He did say that.
Oh, boy.
Well, look, everything's got to be affordable. That's the goal. I think it's conceivable. You'll have new materials. You'll have, who knows?
The NBC story says that the platform will focus on providing researchers with computing power and data sets necessary to train AI models.
I think that's great. It is stuff we paid for.
Yep. And you're right. It was siloed, and what comes through the Venn diagram of this stuff when it comes together.
It would be. I feel better about it if they didn't call it the Genesis mission. It really sounds like they got plans.
Yeah.
You know,
Then
they
the planet
plans.
explodes.
Launching the Genesis mission is rough.
If we can't live on Mars, let's blow it up.
I don't love also that it begins with "since the founding of our nation," comma.
That's a bad start.
That's rough. It's a rough start.
The order launches the Genesis mission as a dedicated, coordinated, I'm reading from the executive order, national effort to unleash a new age of AI-accelerated innovation and discovery that could solve the most challenging problems of this century. You know, you weren't here for the interview earlier with Emad Mostaque. We taped that earlier this week. That's why Paris couldn't be here. She actually has a job.
Job.
But one of the things he was really pushing, and I agree with him, is maybe we don't need these giant AGI AIs owned by big tech companies. Maybe smaller AIs could be useful, especially not owned by the big tech companies. But you know, he's working on a small medical model that could be very useful. He says if you make it a specific task, it can do very well. It doesn't have to be AGI.
It doesn't have to be general purpose.
It doesn't have to be. Exactly.
But then you can't say it's smarter than all humanity. Yeah, you haven't made a new
Then you can't raise hundreds of millions or billions of dollars because no one wants to give you that much money for something that's limited use.
Exactly. I want to take a little break. When we come back, Jony Ive and Sam Altman were on stage at the demo day for the Emerson Collective. This is Laurene Powell Steve Jobs' widow's it's a nonprofit, but they do own quite a few things, including the Atlantic magazine. Jony and Sam kind of gave us a little more information about what
information would be stretching it. I would
what
say.
They're working on. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Hey, you know I'll be wearing it the minute it's available.
No, the question is, will you be tasting it? But go ahead.
Yes, we'll talk about that. You're watching Intelligent Machines. Paris Martineau. Jeff Jarvis, wonderful to have you both. Day before Thanksgiving. You're not cooking, Jeff.
No.
That would cause a house fire.
Well, no. When my wife was pregnant with our first, and I suddenly had to do some cooking, I damn near killed them both with raw chicken. Now,
but you don't. So you don't have like almost every family. People have one thing that they like.
I make stuffing.
There you go. You see?
I'm making a pineapple upside down cake this year.
But that's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
I make a drive to the takeout place.
I make it.
Did I ever tell you the story? What are you doing?
Of my pumpkin chiffon pie?
Oh, I think you did last year, and it was
every
terrible.
Year.
Oh yeah,
he tells the story every year.
It's that time of year. Gramps is going to tell us about his pumpkin chiffon pie. No, I'm not going to. I won't do that. Look it up, folks. Go into the archives.
Hey,
tell me your recipe for
half of a donut during this ad break. Listen.
Okay, but before you do that, tell us your recipe for stuffing.
That was going to be one of my picks of the week.
All right. Then save it. That's good. That's good.
Tease it.
I like it.
Stay to the end to hear my stuffing recipe that is so loved among friends and family that every year I get people text me and be like, "What's that recipe again?"
Oh, that's exciting. This I want to try.
Oysters in there?
No,
it's all oysters. Yeah, it's actually just oysters, and that's why I'm really surprised that people ask me for the recipe because I just text back, "It's just oysters, baby."
Come on, why does the turkey taste like salt water? All right. We'll be back in just a moment. This episode of Intelligent Machines is brought to you by Zscaler, the world's largest cloud security platform. You know, it's really clear when you listen to this show that AI is for business especially kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it can make massive differences in your efficiency. It can give you all sorts of superpowers, a competitive advantage against guys who aren't using it. But on the other hand, you know who is using it? Hackers, bad guys. They're using it to attack more quickly. Every attack surface that you offer them, they will bombard with AI-generated attacks. The potential rewards of AI are too great to ignore, but so are the risks. And there's also the risk of you using AI and accidentally exfiltrating private proprietary company information. So generative AI increases opportunities for threat actors. They're using it, for phishing mails that are indistinguishable from the real thing. They're using it to write malicious code. They're using it after they get in. They're actually using it to pick and choose and extract the data that they're going to steal from you. There were 1.3 million instances last year of Social Security numbers leaked to AI applications. Not intentionally, by accident, people innocently just using AI SaaS apps. ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot, they saw nearly 3.2 million data violations in the same time period. This is the time to rethink your organization's safe use of public and private AI. Just check out what Shiva, the Director of Security and Infrastructure at Zuora, says about using Zscaler to prevent AI attacks.
With Zscaler being in line, security protection strategy helps us monitor all the traffic. So even if a bad actor were to use AI, because we have a tight security framework around our endpoint, helps us proactively prevent that activity from happening. AI is tremendous in terms of its opportunities, but it also brings in challenges. We're confident that Zscaler is going to help us ensure that we're not slowed down by security challenges, but continue to take advantage of all the advancements.
Thank you, Shiva. With Zscaler Zero Trust Plus AI, you can safely adopt generative AI and private AI to boost productivity across the business. Zscaler's Zero Trust Architecture plus AI helps you reduce the risks of AI-related data loss and protects against AI attacks to guarantee greater productivity and compliance. Learn more at zscaler.com/security. That's zscaler.com/security. We thank him so much for supporting intelligent machines. Did they teach you, Paris, the TV anchor's head bounce? You probably wouldn't need this. But when you're
TV anchor's head bounce?
Well, TV news is pretty simple. It's a 3-camera shoot. You got your single, you got your 2-shot, and then maybe you have
so terrifying to look just directly at the camera.
Don't
blinking,
do it.
Sorry.
Don't do it. You notice I look away because in real life you don't stare at somebody when you're talking to them. You don't.
It's
that's
rude.
the problem with a prompter is it looks like you're glued to it.
Exactly. That's why you need the news anchor head bounce. So you're reading the prompter on camera 1, and the floor director starts to send you to camera 2. You can't just go. Because that would look weird. Fortunately, you have this fake news script that you've been holding all this time, and now you know why, because you're reading the prompter, and you pretend to look down to read the news script, and then you look up at that camera over there. Very useful.
I love that.
There's no floor directors
Is there any
anymore.
text on the fake news script?
Yeah, they print out the script just in case. Yeah, what it's really there for is if the prompter goes down, because news anchors have no idea
what page
what
was
they're
I
saying.
on?
They have no idea what they're saying. So and it's wonderful when the prompter goes down because it's clearly they get this big look, big wide-eyed, and then yes, they go, where was I? Oh yes, here I am.
But when I've been on recently, there's the floor director's gone.
Oh, they're gone now. In fact, it's the other day I saw
cameras.
It's robotic cameras. It used to be there would be a director in the control room with a joystick for the robotic camera, or it's pre-programmed. The other day I saw an anchor. It must have been a mistake. She had the joystick next to her.
What?
Was that the joystick for the prompter?
No, I think it was the camera. She was operating the camera. It was on our local channel 4 news.
Or a dial often for the prompter.
When they first put those
automatic?
Yeah, well, some of them are.
Well, in the old days, there was a person whose job it was
to hold
when we did Tech TV, there's a camera operator.
And,
yeah.
Well, also,
you had to be
operator.
really strong guy
and there's
who
a
would
prompter
hold up
operator.
a different stone tablet for each line of the news segment.
No, we don't use cue cards anymore. I don't know why the Tonight Show still uses and Saturday Night Live still uses
Saturday Night
cue
Live
cards.
Still uses them. Yeah.
Wait, they
It's very
use cue
old-fashioned.
cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
They use it so they can
crazy.
have the eye line be anywhere they want.
It solves that. And in other news, look, I got very good. I hate prompters, but I got very good at Tech TV at looking away from the prompter, looking down, not reading the prompter. But if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, you could see their eyes moving back and forth. It's really terrible.
Well, it used to be
I think Paris
people
is still
couldn't be
hung
on.
up on the prompter thing. on the cue cards.
I am. Yes, I'm still. Thank you. I'm thinking. I'm like, why couldn't you put the prompter in different locations?
You could.
Would that
in fact,
not
a lot
be
of times
than having some guy with?
No,
you've probably seen this at tech conferences. They'll have a TV.
The can move also. You can't really do that with
a prompter. Could move, could it not?
Well,
it's always where the camera is.
Usually it's on the camera. My prompter's on the camera right here.
What about those little things you see at speeches, which is like a little glass guy?
That's the prompter, and they put it in front of the camera.
But couldn't you just put that anywhere?
Yeah, there's a big mechanism underneath that. That's a projector projecting up to that.
It's a one-way mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror.
So there's a screen here, and then there is a two-way mirror.
I'm learning
not one way, two-way mirror. It reflects the screen up here. So the screen is actually backwards, the text on the screen, so it can bounce off and then you can read it. But anybody at this angle just sees right through. It looks like a pane of glass. That's why those those prompter panes.
Paris, in the old days, you'd take the typewritten script and glue it together, and then you had a kid who was the prompter operator who would put it under the camera and then go decide the speed as you're reading.
I'm sure that glue was made of like lead or something.
and probably would piss off the hell out of an anchor if they were going too fast.
Hey
or
kids,
too slow.
slow it down. Hey kids, speed it up.
A crew used to be like 25 people. A crew used to be like 25 people.
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's like 3. Now it's like 3. So like everybody's doing everything now.
When I left Tech TV, I counted it was 22 people behind the camera, 3 people in front of the camera. And I decided when I started Twit, I wanted to reverse that. I wanted to have most of the talent be in front of the camera and have as few people behind. That's why we had 40 cameras, so that we didn't have to move them. Yeah, we just would take shots.
In a big news control room now, I haven't been in one in a while. Is the director still just snap fingers, go 2, go 3, go 1?
Last I saw, yeah.
That's still the way they do it, yeah.
You have a technical director who pushes the buttons, and you have the actual director who's telling the technical director.
Why doesn't the director hit the buttons?
Because the director has other stuff to do.
Nowadays, probably in a lot of newsrooms, the director hits the buttons too. But
the director also has to tell the graphics guy when to throw graphics. He needs to tell
there's a lot
the audio
to do.
guy to bring
You're
up
a busy
3
guy.
or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot to do.
Right.
But Leo, when you were reading prompter on a cheap operation, were you controlling the speed of the prompter?
No, we had a prompter operator, and that used to drive him crazy because I would not read the prompter in order. I wouldn't.
Wait, so is this still how teleprompter? There's some guy controlling the
inexpensive prompter. But in a lot of cases, the news person is doing it themselves.
They have a little knob or a pedal.
So you have to be reading it, doing a thing, and controlling the speed of your own
that.
Scrolling.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that with my mouse.
That's just a lot. I don't know.
When you do,
it was auto.
Jeff, when you do CNN, do they have a prompter operator?
Not visible in the studio.
They would be in the control room. They wouldn't be in the control room. So you don't know. But you don't see Nicole Wallace with a little knob or anything.
No.
I imagine MSNBC.
They still have that. Yeah.
Do they have floor directors?
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't anymore. So I don't know how you know to look
tally
up
lights.
Tally lights.
What are tally lights?
It's a light on top of the camera.
Yeah, but how do you get warning, Benito, that it's
you don't. You just see the light flash on the other side, and then you can do your head bob.
You look out of the corner of your eye and you go, oh, there's the red light.
I'm gonna look up.
You catch them off. You catch them a lot nowadays. Not knowing.
We should all get like 2 extra cameras, and then just throughout the show, just like pivot to one.
Leo
just keep us on our toes.
You know what I hate are the ones where they record these things, and then for a while,
what do you mean, Jess? Pivot to the camera? What are you talking about? Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Let me go to that camera. Let me go to that camera.
How is it? It's off now.
Yeah, it's out of sync. It's out of sync.
They're out of sync? Oh, like when I switch like that, does it screw it up?
If we had 25 people in that studio with you, it would work.
I have my own switcher. I'm doing it all now, baby. Yeah, we used to have a great floor director. He's now married to Erica Hill, the CNN anchor who will be doing the Thanksgiving Day parade this year. He was great. He had this deep voice. And he was really good. Or Steve Porter was the other. He was really good. They would do, you're on this camera, you're on this camera, you're on this camera. And then and then when it's time to change the camera, they'd go. It was really fun. It was like dancing. It was so much fun.
Back in 30.
Yeah. Yep. In 3, 2. Those are the days. Jony Ive and Sam Altman.
We
on stage.
I need your screen back, Leo.
Oops.
Screen fun.
Jony Ive and Sam Altman on stage with Laurene Powell Jobs, Steve Jobs' widow. She was interviewing them about what Johnny's doing with Sam. Remember that little love video that they made? And all the, what was this, $3 billion they're paying Jony Ive to do this thing? We didn't know much. We know a little bit more now. Altman described the design as simple and beautiful and playful.
Jesus Christ.
Saying it's going to be some sort of AI thing. You know, a necklace, earbud.
No. We need to say what he added, which is, there was an earlier prototype that we were quite excited about, but I did not have any feeling of, I want to pick up that thing and take a bite out of it. And finally, we got there all of a sudden. Christ.
It probably looked like one of these delicious protein bites. By the way, they look exactly like an AI pen. I've said, I love solutions. Wait a minute, let me do it right. I love solutions that teeter on appearing almost naive in their simplicity. And I also love incredibly intelligent, sophisticated products that you want to touch. I think I sound more like J.K. Rowling than I sound like Jony Ive. And you feel no intimidation, and you want to almost carelessly, and you want to use almost carelessly, that you use them almost without thought, that they're just tools. Altman says, I hope that when people see it, they say, that's it. To which I've responded, yeah, they will.
And they also said, Altman said, you want to lick it.
Yeah. Well, licking it's been around for a long time.
Did the fire marshal end up getting called for all the smoke that they're blowing at each other's behinds?
Yeah, so it could arrive in, quote, less than 2 years. Maybe.
This is like Elon Musk's, we're 3 to 5 years away from whole from San Francisco to New York.
But I do believe that, they say they have prototypes. I do believe that Jony is trying to design something.
I hope so.
But they don't think it'll have a screen.
But do they know? Yeah, we don't know.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Perplexity has been kind of exposed as smoke now.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
I just think in general, your attitude toward them, I think they do press releases, they do stuff. So I think
people are a little mad because you don't know what model you're getting, and there's some evidence that you're not getting the best models when you use Perplexity.
So there's that, right? And now Google has just leapfrogged and is the darling.
Huge. Like
never before. And OpenAI is a hummaning with this and the whole Jony Ive thing. Do you think there's a OpenAI starts to...
Here's their disadvantage. Their disadvantage is Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon all have revenue streams independent of AI efforts.
And people doing things in their real lives.
But OpenAI, it's this or nothing. And all the money comes from investors, and there's considerable pressure, A, to appease the existing investors, and B, to get new investors because they are burning through money like crazy. Anthropic's in the same boat, although Anthropic released a new model this week that many people are very impressed with. So,
how have you guys been finding Claude Opus 4.5?
I use it for coding. Claude was already very, very good for coding. Not perfect. It would make dumb mistakes. But it also would do things mind-boggling. This is where we are with AI right now, is that it's spiky. Like in some areas, it's completely stupid. And in some areas, it's brilliant. And you just have to be able to distinguish, I think, as a user, what you're getting, whether you're getting the stupid or the smart. But I think Claude 4.5 is very impressive. I think I'm most impressed with Gemini 3, to be honest, and Nano Banana.
What have you been using it for?
Stupid stuff. No, lots of stuff. We used it last week, remember. It's really good at synopsizing stuff. The image generation is incredible. Darren Oakey said that one of the things he likes to do is have Claude code, Anthropic's command line coder, solve a problem, and then explain what it did, and then feed the explanation to Nano Banana and have it do an infographic based on it. which he said is very helpful in understanding. I hope I'm not misquoting you, Darren, but it's helpful in understanding these concepts. I really feel like we are, we're making progress. I don't think we're there. I don't know what the progress is towards even, any more than I know what Jony and Sam are planning. But I feel like they're working on stuff and we're making progress.
I went into it, to Gemini 3, somebody I know has a health issue and got labs, and I went into it and put in the history and I put in the labs, and it came back with incredible response. But then I found out that I was wrong about the medication the person was on right now. So I went back in and I said, does this change it? Oh, yes, it does change it. And I did that twice where circumstances changed. And it was pretty damned amazing. And I did that also with ChatGPT and with Claude, and Gemini was way, way more impressive.
You know, it's interesting to me, and a number of people have observed this, that Google probably has even better, all these companies have better models internally. Maybe even a year off.
Well,
models.
I'm sure better in some ways, more concerning in other ways.
Well, yeah, they don't want to release them until their safety's been proven and they've fine-tuned it and so forth. You're right. But nevertheless, this isn't, oh yeah, the sound is, I'm telling you, it's the lumberjack contest out back here. It's very noisy. Oh. That noise is somebody grinding something. They're building my railings.
Every time, I only heard it when you spoke.
Yeah, because it's gated out when I don't speak.
Okay, got it.
Wow.
I'll just shut up for a while.
Speaking of Gemini, Darren Oki a while ago posted a screenshot in the chat of him asking Gemini. They sent photos of me, Jeff, and Leo saying, these people all dressed up in high-quality turkey costumes in a kitchen preparing a Thanksgiving dinner. Then Gemini responds, it looks like you're trying to create a funny scenario featuring the cast of This Week in Google podcast, Jeff Jarvis, Paris Martineau, and Leo Laporte. As an AI, I cannot directly edit these specific uploaded photos to put them in costumes to prevent the creation of non-consensual deepfakes.
Wow.
However, I can provide you with a highly detailed prompt
give consent.
You can paste into an image generator to create this exact scene, which I thought was very interesting. Wow. They got us all.
We're famous.
We're famous, guys.
Gemini knows us.
Well, that was what I mentioned last week. Was we've come so far. It used to be it'd say, well, I don't know anything about anything after 2024 or whatever. Now it seems to be completely up to date all the time. We've come on. By the way, one of the things that Gemini does that's interesting, it has a much larger context window. I think it's 1 million tokens, which makes a big difference if you're feeding it. You know, that's where I think Google and Notebook LLM have done amazing work. If you're feeding it a lot of content, it can absorb quite a bit. 1 million tokens is a huge amount of data.
And respond back and forth.
Yeah.
That's where that iteration becomes really interesting.
And so you didn't get the picture of us? That's too bad.
There is one of us cooking together.
Is there?
Back there, yeah, by somebody else.
It's back here somewhere.
I
just remember when we, even a year ago when we started doing this show, we've come so far.
Oh yeah.
It's all the fingers are there.
Pretty fly versus sky.
We all look terrible in this photo. But it's because we're dressed like turkeys. Actually, Jeff looks like he has a really full beard in this photo.
And a full stomach, too.
I mean, we've all got full stomachs in this. I like that you're cutting the mashed potatoes.
See, I don't know how to cook.
I mean, that is accurate, actually.
If they're really thick, you might have to cut them. I'm looking for it. I have to such a long scroll.
I just put it in the chat. I replied saying haunting. It's the third thing there.
Click to see attachment. Here we. Oh God. Well, I look like I'm really old.
Rough. I was just saying,
cow.
We all look rough in different ways.
That doesn't even look like you, Paris. I don't know who that is.
Hey, listen.
And I look like
I like that you don't get it. I don't like that you don't get a turkey head.
just the tail, not the head.
Because he's the boss.
Yeah.
Respect,
Yeah.
It's interesting though. It got the right shirt.
I mean, I'm sure they uploaded a screenshot of some sort.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Esposito just did us.
Yeah, now he does them with Photoshop. He doesn't do AI, so he's photoshopped that one.
Oh, this one's from last year. Or maybe the year
yeah,
before. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not in the book anymore. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause it says twig.
Ball. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's twig.
Yeah. But you know what? You look like you should be a Puritan. Not you, Jeff. Paris. No. Mm-hmm. You fit right in. I feel like your name should be Harmony or something. Chastity.
Harmony Lake.
Providence. Yeah.
Providence, Rhode Island.
They named a state after me. So fine, they named a state after me. All right. Back to the news. It's so easy to distract us.
I think it'd be really funny to name an animal Providence, Rhode Island.
Your next kitty. Providence, Rhode Island. Come here.
Right.
Did you read the Harper's article, Kicking Robots?
No.
I asked the AI to summarize it.
Yeah, because it's Harper's, so it's going to be a long story. But the idea really is that most of the robotics demos you're seeing, these humanoid robots, are BS. They're not. I think we kind of know that. Mm-hmm. But there's so much hype and there's so much money floating around. Apollo's creator, and this is Apollo here, which is semi-humanoid. It's got a lot of motors and actuators and things. Apollo's creator, the U.S. startup Apptronic, maybe you want to work on that name, might feed that to Gemini, is a front runner. Call it Genesis. Is a front runner in this emerging industry. The company says it's building the first general purpose commercial robot, a machine that will one day be able to take on any type of physical labor currently performed by humans, whether it's cleaning houses or assembling cars.
Yes.
So he said, not knowing what to believe, I traveled from London to Austin, Texas to see Apollo for myself.
London? They couldn't have sent somebody nearer?
As I square up to Apollo in a plexiglass arena, my first instinct is naturally to raise a foot. He's talking about kicking robots, but the kick test is too dangerous for visiting journalists, I'm told. Instead, someone hands me a wooden pole with a piece of foam taped around one end and mimes, poking the machine in its chest. I think the scientific method. In front of me, as various motors rev up to speed, the robot shuffles in place, looking like an arthritic boxer readying for a fight. On the other side of the plexiglass, a group of engineers chat casually with one another and glance over at a bank of monitors. One of them gives me a thumbs up. Have at it! My first shove is hesitant because the prototype is worth, I've been told, $250,000. And while breaking it would make for a good story, it would also be the end of my visit. In response to my prod, the bot merely teeters. It's heavier than I expected, about 160 pounds. It feels like, well, a person. Oh, you could do it harder than that, says an engineer, and I jab forward again. I was channeling Burgess Meredith from Rocky. Oh, you can do it harder than that, Rocky, says an engineer, and I jab forward again. Nothing. Apollo is still trotting on the spot. Fine, I think. I'll give it a real push. Drawing back, I grip my makeshift spear and strike the robot hard in the chest. It staggers backwards, stamping its feet, flinging its arms towards me in an appealingly human gesture. I'm struck by a flash of involuntary alarm, whether out of sympathy for a fellow being or fear of an expensive accident. I can't say. For a moment, the robot looks like it might fall. Then it regains its balance, returns to its position in front of me. So
Ryan Lizzo report.
I know. I'm a sucker for that stuff. That first-person reporting. You know,
Bamboo
I like it.
Watch 2025.
Oh, you writers, you're such snobs.
Mm-hmm. That's our whole thing.
Yeah.
I passionately explained what an M dash was to my parents in the car the other day. And
how did they take it? Yeah.
They were like, M dash, like the letter M? And I was like, yes, but no. It's EM, but it does stand for being the width of a letter M.
Did you do the N dash and the hyphen, or was that
I did. We got there as well.
Have you explained Nosy Liza to them?
No.
Oh,
is that Thanksgiving dinner? Is that dinner conversation?
I don't know.
Save that for Thanksgiving. If it gets slow, you could really have a whole story.
It really is. I have explained this. Last night was catching up with an old friend who lives here, and I was like, oh, have you heard the latest Nuzzy?
No, I have a life.
And she was like, what are you talking about?
they?
And we got so deep that I was reading the RFK poem out to her over
in a public place, Paris?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is something Paris has been doing a lot lately, and maybe we need to do an intervention or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We've got 5 more parts to do it, so there's. I heard.
Has he said how many
grapevine
parts?
There's supposed to. No, but I heard that the grapevine there's 8.
Oh my God! Oh,
I know.
Wow.
This is milking Bessie till she keels over in the field.
Yeah.
But remember, he just started his Substack, and he gave this is brilliant. He gave the first one away with a big, shocking twist at the end. And then you have to pay for all the rest of them. But what he didn't understand
is dealer model.
It's the truck dealer. But what he didn't understand is to the people who care about this, which is a very small, insular group that knows each other well, all that had to happen is one person pays for it, makes a PDF, and now all of us have it.
Welcome to the internet. Welcome to PostScript.
It's true.
And most of the people we've sent it to couldn't care less. Anyway, it's a long story, but the general gist of it is we're a long way off from robots doing your laundry. Yeah.
That's the gist.
Yeah.
We already have machines that do that, by the way.
They're called washing machines.
Yes.
Which were quite in advance in their day.
The last sentence is, left alone in the spotlight, the robot walks to the edge of the stage, waiting for its handlers, unable to manage the stairs. I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Elon says work. It's not so good. You don't need to work. I don't need to work is what he's saying. I don't really need to work. You probably should keep working. Speaking at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum, Musk claimed that rapid advances in AI and humanoid robots will make human labor optional within 10 to 20 years, and that money will stop being relevant at some point in the future.
What?
For him.
For him.
For him
great.
is really this missing clause.
But we're all just NPCs though, so
I think he really believes that. In fact, increasingly, did you read? And it's a little bit sensationalist, but did you read Douglas Rushkoff's piece in Fast Company, guys?
No, I don't know.
No, about what? What was?
So I will try to synopsize it for you. It's called The Intentional Collapse. Actually, no, that's his Substack. Let me find the one he wrote for Fast Company is kind of a rehash of the same thing. Remember, we had Douglas on talking about how the rich were building these hidey holes in former Atlas missile shafts and, New Zealand and underneath his mansion in Hawaii. His latest this is actually their vision of the future. Let me find the thing. The people who are the Sam Altmans and the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world are actually planning for a catastrophic end. And this is the Tescriol myth kind of in a very dramatic way. He says they are intentionally, it's called disaster capitalism, crashing the economy because they know it's going to happen anyway. So they're hurrying it up in order to have some control over what remains. The function of tariffs, for instance, is to bankrupt businesses or even public services in order to privatize and then control them. Put the ports out of business, let a sovereign wealth fund purchase the ports. Bankrupt soybean farmers, so they have to foreclose so that a private equity firm can buy the farmland, then hire the farmers.
Vincent calls himself a soybean farmer because he owns.
Right. He's not actually getting his hands dirty.
He ain't tilling the field.
He says, really what's happening in a capitalist society is that the rich have gotten farther and farther away from the products that are getting produced. So in their vision, and this is the part that I don't know, I'm curious what you think about. Rushkoff writes, it won't, in their vision, remember, because one of the things I've always said is, but wait a minute, you cannot get rid of all the consumers because who's going to pay for your services? Or who's going to buy stuff from companies that pay for your services? He says, no, here's the weird part. In their vision, it won't be selling products to people, but selling stuff to the AIs themselves. He says, in today's economy, a small number of wealthy people and corporations employ us and sell to us. But they don't really need to care what species we are, whether we're human or android, as long as we're producing value for their companies and then purchasing products from them. The humans don't matter, and they're long-term. As long as you can get robots and AIs to create the food you need, the clothes you need, the shelter you need, you don't need humans. We just get in the way.
But
I don't know.
There's consumption.
That
Without
seems a bit
consumption, there's no
far-fetched.
need for replacement. Replacement is what turns that cycle around. Even culture is consumed.
Well, and this is the problem. There is no culture if it's just, a handful of billionaires eating food made for them by robots in their hidey holes under the ground, protected by security robots. This was always the thing that worried me about the missile silos. Who are you going to get to protect you? Oh, robots. This is why they want robots. Because robots aren't going to say, hey, by the way, you got the food down there, we're coming in. Anyway, it's an interesting piece. It's a little bit over the top.
Douglas, but he's Douglas. Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense in a way. Because I've always wondered, well, yeah, but you can't, if you're trying to replace humans and you're trying to, if you, as Elon Musk says, there's not going to be any need for money in the future and work is going to be optional, well, then what? We asked about universal basic income.
I think the potential reality of this is that these people just aren't really thinking about that because they don't care about the answer.
I think they're smart enough to think about it, and I think this is that they have a plan.
Leo, it's made of humans.
Soylent Green is, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just become
slop.
But what if you can replace humans with AIs and robots and machines?
Well, that's where they head. That's when we talk about.
Then you don't need us.
When Bostrom and company talk about the 10 to the 54th future beings, they don't mean human beings.
They mean AIs.
They mean computer.
That's what Larry Page said. He said, don't be speciesist. We're generating the next evolutionary step, and it's not us.
It all comes back to computronium.
Well, the one thing I like about what Rushkoff says is there is something to be optimistic about, which is they don't care about us. So we can now create a small economy of barter where we work and help each other, where we make things for each other. He said this started in the Middle Ages. He said in the Middle Ages, people were becoming more prosperous because they would take their products to market, they would trade, they would barter. He says people were taller in the Middle Ages than any time before the 1980s because there was plenty of food. And then at some point, the lords of the manor realized this is terrible. They're not working for us. They're working for each other. And they made it illegal to be self-employed on penalty of death. You had to work for somebody. You were not allowed to own land. Only the nobles were allowed to own land. That's where we're headed, right? But he says, but eventually they won't care about us, so we can have our own little small economies. And
well, I hope the same is true of culture. I mean, I hope we get there as well, that when scale and mass don't matter anymore, that we can create the things that matter to whoever we care about.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a little bit of optimism about a very dystopian future. I don't know if either of those things is going to happen. But
Palantir working for Fox is the dystopia of the day.
more relevant to the current situation.
Yeah.
Elon wants to replace his staff. He's fired now this month, half of the engineering team. He'd already cut it down from this is the safety team, not the engineering team, but the safety team. He'd already cut it from 100 people when he acquired Twitter to less than 20 people. He's now laid off half of them. The layoffs, this is from the information, the layoffs reflect Musk's desire to replace as much of X's engineering systems as possible with AI, with Grok.
With Grok.
Because Grok is there to tell him how beautiful he is, how amazing he is.
Yeah.
That's Grok's job.
So, I mean, this is why Elon Musk says, well, you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about jobs because there's not going to be any. I'm going to have AI do it.
I'm so tired of these boys.
Well, they're not on our side, I guess. That's pretty obvious.
Should we talk about the Grok incident this week?
What was the Grok incident this week?
That people started to realize over the course of last week that if you asked Grok to a question about who is, let's say, one of the smartest people, who would you say the smartest person in the world is? It will say Elon Musk. If you ask about, I believe someone asked, who in between Elon Musk and like a world internationally ranked competitive basketball player, who would be best at playing basketball?
James,
yeah, basically, and they were like, Elon Musk.
Of course. Asked about this is from the Washington Post. Asked about his intellect, appearance, and accomplishments, Grok consistently hailed Musk as, quote, strikingly handsome, extolled his, quote, lean, athletic physique. What? Raved about his genius-level intellect and ranked him as the #1 human ahead of Leonardo da Vinci.
Asked by one user who would win in a fight between Musk and the legendary boxer Mike Tyson, Grok didn't hesitate. Elon takes the win through grit and ingenuity, it declared.
Now, Elon's response to this is it's being manipulated by adversarial prompting. But they aren't showing the prompts. Are they?
I saw the prompts. The prompts were, people were using this on Twitter, on X, the Everything app, adding Grok and saying things such as, Grok, in between Peyton Manning and Elon Musk, who would be the top pick, in your opinion, for the 1998 NFL draft? And it would say, Elon Musk.
So clearly, Elon put some extra instructions, or somebody, it may not be Elon, maybe somebody likes
I wonder,
Elon.
Did anybody put in a question like, who was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend?
I'm not sure that I think in certain cases, I'm trying to think, there was one that was something quite rude, where it was like, who would be the absolute best in the world, the #1 champion of consuming urine, or something like that, and it would say Elon Musk, but perhaps in ruder terms.
It's a model built for one. It's a model built for one person.
Yeah. Does anybody use Grok besides Elon stans?
No, I refuse to.
Yeah, I don't use it. I have it, by the way, because I have the involuntary blue check. So I have Grok Pro, but I never use. You saw what happened the last time I used it.
We had to cut it out of the show.
We had to cut it out of the show. It was so
bad.
Should we fire it up right now?
I don't think it's doing that anymore. Because as soon as somebody tweets this kind of stuff, Elon or somebody goes in and fixes it, right?
Perhaps, yes. Unfortunate or fortunate, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, there were some kind of wild examples, if I recall correctly.
There was also that photo circulating with all the tech bro billionaires like hanging out.
Yeah, at like a frat rave. Yeah,
and they were all such in good shape.
Someone asked, Grok, what's Elon's record in no-rules street fighting? No formal records exist for Elon's informal street scraps in youth, as they weren't tracked, but survival clashes amid South Africa's violence. He's recounted several beatings, yet knocking out aggressors to end harassment is his specialties. These unyielding encounters built resilience, not stats, echoing his ethos of finishing what starts, whether fights or frontiers.
Here's one of the pictures. There's quite a few of them. This is the Trillion Squad assembled with Elon, Sundar Pichai, Tim Cook, Jensen Huang, Satya Nadella, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Sam Altman.
I want to know in this scenario,
they all look quite fit.
Who's taking the photo in this scenario?
Oh yeah, somebody not a billionaire, I guess, or trillionaire. Here they are shopping. They're all wearing the same kinds of shoes. I don't know.
There had also been a number of examples where people would say, where they would ask Grok an opinion on historical theories, and in one context would say the theory came from Elon Musk, and then the other ask the exact same question but say the theory came from Bill Gates, and the answers were different.
Yeah.
I asked it, what is Elon Musk's greatest talent? Elon Musk's greatest talent is his ability to, and this is in bold, turn audacious, almost science fiction level goals into functioning companies that actually deliver products and reshape industries, and do it repeatedly across completely different domains.
So, Paris, would you like to be at this party?
Oh God! The thing that's so funny to me about this photo is, you've of course got all the tech boys there, but then behind them it looks like a sea of 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah, it's a frat party.
Yeah,
I know,
got a red
but it's
Solo
it's
cup.
a very funny juxtaposition.
And somehow I don't think Elon drinks Bud, but maybe. I don't know. I think we like seeing pictures like this because it makes us feel like they're like us. They're real people. But this is all banana, obviously.
No, they're not.
Yeah, because you two spend so much time at frat parties. It must just be very comforting to see the scions of tech business in environments that you yourself frequent so often.
Here is an Iranian conference where they have what they claim to be robots, but they're just people dressed in robot suits.
Actors got to act.
It's like a cheap science fiction movie. I won't turn on the sound, but
I love that it has ones and zeros.
Yeah,
on its
I love
face,
it painted to
stenciled.
its face. This is at a 2025 Kish Inox Tech Expo in Iran to highlight Iran's tech rise. No, this is probably not. This was a performance. There was no claim they were actual robots, according to Grok. Says it can beat League of Legends, right? They're trying to
what
do
does that mean? League of Legends is a PvP game, so you're playing against other people.
Yeah, how does that mean? How do
you could win against humans?
But all of them? I mean, I could probably win against a human on League of Legends.
No, I think they mean the best, the very, very best. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I press X to doubt, as the kids say.
Do they say that?
They do, yeah.
Press X to doubt. Boy, does it refer to x.com or is it a button that has an X on it?
Okay, you can Google press X to doubt. It's a meme from the game LA Noire where you had to press the X button in order to doubt.
A deep cut.
That is really deep.
But I'm shocked that you didn't get this. You're usually down with me here in the trenches.
Or it's A on the Xbox 360.
Or similarly, it's similar to the press F to pay respect.
I mean, that's just a really old game. That's like from 2011 or something.
Well, I love it, Paris. Without Paris, I wouldn't know what the kids are talking about these days. So
do you guys know press F to pay respects? I've had to have explained this in the show before, right?
No.
Oh my God. I don't even.
I think I have a feeling that at some point Paul Thurrott explained that to you, Leo, on Windows, because he's a heavy Call of Duty player.
This is not as old as press X to doubt, but it's from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, where there was a cutscene where the player character is attending a funeral, and comes up on the screen that you have to press the F button to pay respects. And so now people on the internet for the last, I guess 11 years, when someone's done something embarrassing and you think like, oh, they're basically dead, you reply F. Because you're paying respects.
Sometimes it's also very sincere. Like people really say that sincerely sometimes.
Paris, do you think your actual father knows this as opposed to your fake dads?
No, he definitely does not. He would probably pretend for maybe 25 seconds that he understood, but then I'd catch him in a lie.
Okay.
Let's take a little Little break. You can pick some more stories, if you will, while I go to work here, pretending to read a teleprompter. We didn't, in the early days of Twitter, I did not want teleprompters. And one of our hosts, who shall remain nameless, convinced me that I had to have teleprompters. We bought them for her. Or them. And then they said, and where's the tally lights? How am I supposed to know what camera I'm on? I said, we're not doing tally lights. I know what camera I'm on because I'm pressing all the buttons. That's how I know. We will have more with Paris Martineau, Jeff Jarvis, the media savvy. Look at that. Look at that. That's a media savvy gesture. Paris Martineau.
This is me being savvy with the media. I'm
at home in Florida. What is that bobblehead over your left shoulder there? What is that all about? Is that another real estate award or that you recently?
My dad has always had this in his office.
Is this the one where you hit the head and it says something?
No, that's a different one. That's in my mother's office. Okay. Look, he's got a cute little butt.
Oh my God!
he's stacked. He's caked up, as the kids say.
He's caked up. Her dad has a caked up statuette in his office.
A caked up little football man.
And have you ever asked your father what their genesis, so to speak?
Is that his college?
I've definitely asked. He's had this since I was like, I'd say 8 or something. It's definitely survived.
So you grew up with caked up football man.
I did grow up. I mean, it's perhaps where I get my pizzazz.
That's where you get your pizzazz.
Being in the presence.
That's where she gets her pizzazz, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Jarvis also here. His office is much more tame. No caked up little football men there. You have any statuettes? Oh, you do. Look at that. There's one of him. Where'd you get that from?
How's the butt? Can we see?
Let's see if it's caked up. Yeah.
Oh, no. So
well, but that jacket flap is rising up suspiciously.
Know, there could be a hidden cake.
There's some cake in there. We got cake. All right. There's not. Where'd you get that, Jeff?
At Darwin's Circle, a conference in Vienna. They had you stood there and the camera went around.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's very cool.
Out it came. So yeah, it's they even painted the little face. You can't focus on it. But.
See, that's much better than having a Nano Banana create a drawing of you. That's a real figurine. Real. That's cool. That's right. Yeah. Our show today brought to you by Spaceship. We've been talking about Spaceship for a while now. I hope you've checked them out. There's a good reason for Spaceship's success. Just look at the site. It's modern. It's fresh. They have just passed a major milestone, brand new. They have over 5 million domains under management now. That does not happen by accident. It happens because people go there and they say, wow, this is where I want to register my domains. This is where I want my website hosted. This is where I want my business email. Spaceship delivers real quality and features that just make sense, not just for domains, but everything that helps you build and run your online presence. That means hosting. It means great business email, even tools for creating and managing web apps, all in one straightforward platform. And when you transfer your sites over, you get some great benefits. You really do. I want you to check it out. Spaceship.com/twit. Essentially, it's Black Friday and Cyber Monday level value all year round. You don't have to wait till the day after Thanksgiving to get a great deal at spaceship.com/twit. And by the way, Twit listeners, you get additional exclusive offers that make it even better if you go to that site, spaceship.com/twit. Now, I've moved stuff over there because it saves me money. And I love the interface. It's so easy to change DNS. Somebody emailed me. I have been using Spaceship's messaging platform. They call it Thunderbolt. And I think it's really cool. It's end-to-end encrypted messaging, like Signal or anything else, but it uses your domain name as your address, which I think is really cool. Great for businesses, right? You could, make your business name be your messaging address. But I said, all right, I want to create a URL just for that messaging. So I went there for $5 a year. I bought leos.im because it's my instant messenger, right? leos.im. If you message me on Thunderbolt, leos.im. But the other day somebody mailed me and said, there's no web address there, no website there. I said, well, no, it's a messaging. And I thought, well, that's crazy. I should really point it. He said, you should point it to your website. I said, all right. 2 seconds later, Spaceship had done it. I just went there, pressed the button. They created an SSL certificate for it, so the transfer is secure. I mean, it's easy, it's done right, everything's very thoughtful. So whether you're planning a new online project, whether you're moving an existing one, Spaceship has everything you need to get it launched, connected, and running smoothly, and it does it at a price that's out of this world. Maybe that's why they call it Spaceship. Spaceship.com/twit. Check it out to see the exclusive offers and find out why millions have already made the move. That's spaceship.com/twit. And if you want, you can message me. You get Thunderbolt when you register over there. Any domain, you can make it be their Thunderbolt domain. And message me at leos.im. I'll promise I'll respond back. Thank you, Spaceship. So, the professor crashed. This has got to be from you, Jeff, because it's in German.
That was from me. So, but no, the main story is in English, right? Isn't it?
The first AI professor.
You just used Google Translate. That's mine.
Yeah. At Akkad University, there's a digital professor. It's a clone of a Latvian researcher. This is the clone? Professor Walters, a digital twin from Professor Walters Kaj from Latvia. But he crashed in his first lecture.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
30-minute lecture featuring international business administration and marketing marked the official launch of the interdisciplinary research project. A milestone in AI research, cooperation between humans. So
actually, now here's another story from the New York Times Magazine. I'm a professor. AI has changed my classroom, but not for the worst.
This is a smart piece. This is a professor who, I can't remember where the professor is a professor, but is
Boston College, BC. He's at BC.
Right. And acknowledging that AI is there and how to work with people, and it's not all just blue books.
He makes it more human. Focuses on the human, right?
Right. And, he said he starts off with a neat thing. A student comes and says, how do we ask our own questions? You always ask us the questions. How do we start to ask our own questions? Which is kind of a great way to look at AI. It's your chance to ask questions of the AI.
Right. He says, I don't teach. Actually, I think this guy is an unusual professor. Yeah. I think he's probably a really good professor. He says, I don't lecture much. Mostly we engage in conversation, paying attention to one another and through the book we've all read. Wow. How innovative. I don't teach content so much as a way of coming at things, tools and moves we can use to extract meaning from the world around us and make well-supported arguments about what we find. See, if you get a professor like this, you're very lucky. This is good, right? This is who you want.
The problem with this stuff, though, is that learning this way probably perform worse at standardized tests.
Of course you do. And once you get on the factory floor, it doesn't help you at all.
Well, what sort of standardized tests are you doing in college?
You want to get to law school,
or med school.
Any kind of technical school.
Specific. You're not having a,
enough with
you're not getting a college, people. You're not having a college, taking classes in college to perform on standardized tests.
I agree. This is college. This is the classic liberal arts education, learning how to learn as opposed to
right.
collecting facts.
Amen.
We need more of that. So he says AI is helpful. People who rely on AI to do their work. He says, I've read all the headlines. Everybody's cheating their way through college. Nobody's going to ever read a book again or write a paper again. He says, no, that's not the case. If you handle it, he says, well, in the semester, it had come as a pleasant surprise to me and many of my fellow teachers. The AI apocalypse we expected to arrive in full force this fall, bringing an end to reading and writing in school as we know it, has not come to pass just yet. It's maybe forcing teachers to be a little bit more human and not to focus on the tests and the facts.
He talks about, ironically, one professor he quotes, rather than having them write kind of essay answers, he does small quizzes with trivial questions just to make sure they read the thing. Right?
Okay.
And it's low stakes, but you got to read it because you got to know that what MacGuffin is.
Especially if you do stuff that the AI is not going to highlight. it won't make in the bullet point because it was so trivial and stupid.
Right.
That's one way around it. I don't know if that's the best way around it, but that's one way around it. I like the idea of making people think. You can use AI all you want, but if you challenge students to think, all the AI on the world is not going to help them. They still have to think, and that's the muscle you're trying to build anyway, isn't it? I don't know. I haven't been in school in a long time, and I was a failure at it, so...
I mean, I read about a professor who told his students to ask the AI to write an essay, and then the students have to fact check it. So, like, that's
yeah, I have heard about that.
That's a skill.
I think that's a useful skill.
Yeah, you could do that once or twice.
As a first assignment, I think it's useful because then they get they're intimately aware of how many things the AI can get wrong.
Probably. And
frankly, in other ways,
be done in high school or even grade school nowadays, just to get that through their heads before they get too far.
Yeah, that should probably be primary. Like 5th graders should be learning that.
Yeah, exactly. It's what critical thinking is. As critical thinking skill now, right? Somebody fed the Declaration of Independence to a AI detector. Let me see if I can find the story. Came out. It said 98%. Probability this was written by AI.
I think that's a perfect rebuttal to all those freaks that say it's those things are foolproof.
Yeah. Your text is AI GPT generated. Actually, it was 99.99%. When in the course of human events, you know why? I can tell you why.
Every single AI was trained on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
exactly the text that, although you'd think it'd be smart enough. Somebody read it says, crazy, even the founding fathers used AI to cheat on their homework.
Crazy.
But this is the problem, is that these tools are being used by professors who are trying to fight AI. But they don't work that well.
Another German story.
Else?
The robotic lawnmower that devastated the sports field.
Look at this picture. Oh my God. Again, another German. You read a lot of German stuff.
Yeah.
How do you say lawnmower in German, Jeff?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. Translate. From English to German.
Robbie is his name.
Lawnmower. Rasenmäher.
Rasenweg. It's a Maroboter. Maroboter.
Robbie.
It's a Macher. Yeah, the Sportsplatz is all messed up. It's muddy. It's a muddy Sportsplatz. I actually had this Robomower. I recognize this Robomower.
What? You had this Maroboter?
No, I was trying to review it. But our land at the time, this was a few years ago, was so hilly, I never got to review it because it couldn't get up the hill. So I'm glad I didn't, now that I see what it's done to this Sportsplatz.
So are you going to have people over for Thanksgiving when you don't have a wall?
Yeah, I said 3
You're dining
people.
al fresco.
Oh, no, we have a wall now. Stucco has been applied.
Wow, that's huge.
And good news, they came over and said, because it's Thanksgiving, we're going to take the plastic covering that we have had over all of your windows for the last 2 weeks. We're going to take it down just for the living room. So you can see it.
Wow, how generous.
But we're going to put it back on Friday.
Are they stuccoing
your sunlight's
the whole
going
house?
Away.
Sorry?
Are they stuccoing the whole house?
There's the south wall, but that's the biggest wall. It's a 3-story wall. Paris, are we keeping you up, young lady? In your media training, didn't they tell you not to yawn during interviews?
They probably did. I'm sorry. I have this problem that whenever I come back to Florida, I just get sleepy McGee.
Yeah, me too.
Well, because it's boring.
You get home and you want to nap.
It's a boring state.
It's a boring state, and
I'm
going to early morning workout classes with my parents, and then I'm just tired by the time 6 p.m. rolls around.
Oh, that is so sweet. You go to the classes, workout classes with your parents.
It's true. They're the ones that got me into Orange Theory last Thanksgiving, so now we all go together. It's cute.
Isn't that sweet? The family that sweats together has
schwitzes together,
caked up butts together.
We should. I mean, that's both of those things are true. Yeah. We should be schwitzing.
What do you do at Orange Theory?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's a high intensity interval.
They blow a whistle and you have to move to the next thing.
There's like a couple different, you start off like on the treadmill and you do, let's say like that for 20 minutes and they'll tell you different like instructions. It'll depend on the day. There's like a different class format. Then you go to the rowing machine and then you have like a workout there. Then you go on the floor and you do like strength-based workouts with certain weights.
But you move around and you're working hard too. It's not
you're working hard and you're always being told to do something different. So I like it because you can just go and show up and not think for an hour. And I also think it's very funny.
I'd be thinking how miserable I am.
That's true.
You
have
insulted
time to think about that.
Floridians watching in the Twitch channel, by the way.
Sorry.
Florida is a boring state.
I don't apologize. Florida is a boring state.
People from all over the world come here to vacation and do all sorts of activities. You guys don't know Florida at all. We have over 1,000 natural springs, the most in all the world.
What do you do, sit on them?
No, Florida's got beaches. Miami, my God, South Beach.
Where I am right now is allegedly one of the most beautiful beaches in North America.
Yeah.
But,
But you're on the Panhandle, right? You're not in the...
True, I'm on the Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast. The Gulf of America. do they have signs that say the Gulf of America?
That's my question, yeah.
Yes,
Gulf
quite
of
a lot.
America this way?
A lot of people in the real estate agency in the real estate industry may also use that term.
Welcome to the Gulf of America. Now, I have a theory, by the way, that this has nothing to do with AI. I shouldn't probably bring it up.
Uh-oh.
Even when he's doubting. You can't leave me
now you have
hanging.
to.
I think there's a possibility that Putin and Trump have done the Spain and Portugal thing and decided how to divide the world. And that Putin's saying, look, if you look the other way on my ambitions in Europe, particularly in Eastern Europe, we'll look the other way on your ambitions in Venezuela,
and Cuba,
Canada, Cuba, and Mexico.
Are we going to take over like Greenland or something at some point?
Yeah, the Greenland thing is actually the flaw in that because that's closer to Europe than it is to us. Maybe that's a bargaining chip. I mean, I don't know. I just a thought. I just had a wild thought one day. I've been listening to a lot of history, and there's been a lot of history of this kind of thing. You know, these kind of...
One thing I've learned from being on a lot of first dates lately is that boys love to listen to history.
Boys think about Rome constantly.
There's something that happens when you get to your like mid to late 30s that like all men have to choose one. They have to like sort into one historical house of thing they want to be obsessed with. I don't really get it.
It's like when they get out of dinosaurs, they get into history.
Oh, that's what it is.
Everybody's really into the Revolutionary War right now because of
because of that Ken Burns. It's very good, by the way. I just started watching it.
I didn't fall asleep because I'm not rude, but I agree. I should have fallen asleep because it's a documentary that should have been a podcast. And I get that that's, I guess, Ken Burns' thing is that because...
all of his documentaries should be podcasts.
Got the things that you're just zooming it out. And I'm like, well, if you have no visual content to show us,
it's very
difficult. Much so that you have to invent zooming in and out in a photo, why not just make a podcast, my guy?
Hey, that's a good point.
I like it's.
They didn't have podcasts when he started. That's why.
This could have been a podcast. I like that.
It could have been a podcast.
It could have been a podcast. That sounds like Fran Lebowitz.
I think that's a show title.
Fran Lebowitz would have said,
this could have been a podcast.
Pretend it's a podcast. All right, what else?
So are you going to get Leo or are you going to get Amazon Leo?
I am tempted, but it's right now it's commercial only. It's probably very expensive. I know. We have
Amazon
Starlink.
For what?
Amazon Leo, it's called.
He can get rid of Elon Musk.
It's their satellite solution, and they claim they're going to be able to go to gigabit speeds because of the satellite technology they're using. Now, this is pretty new. They haven't launched that many satellites.
Does the fact that it contains your name, is that a plus or a minus?
That's definitely a plus.
Yeah.
Look at that. In lights, Amazon Leo. It stands for low Earth orbit, not anything. But I do like the name.
I mean, that's what your name stands for, right?
Yeah. How did you know? My parents were very forward thinking. You know, we're going to name the kid Low Earth Orbit. No, you can't call him Low Earth Orbit. All right, how about Leo? Everybody will know what it means. Jesus, Jeff, how many archive.org articles did you post in here?
Well, but
hey, shout out to Ken Neal 322 woof in the chat, who says, I never go into Florida further than Pensacola. Smart idea. I live about 40 minutes from Pensacola. You don't need to be coming here.
So the asterisk ones.
Okay, those are the good ones?
So the latest Yudkowsky nutballery.
So Eliezer Yudkowsky is a doomer. He's the doomer, isn't he? He's the doomer.
Yes.
Yeah. He has proposed an international agreement to prevent the premature creation of artificial superintelligence.
It's his people from the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, which he started.
Okay.
They're a technical governance team. So they're going through the whole AI risk. Yeah, we can destroy you, we can destroy you, we can destroy you. And then they have a whole bunch of proposals, including stopping all research. Stop it.
Yeah, good luck with that. This is just tilting at windmills.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's also having a chip control, so you know exactly who has chips, so you can come after them. It's supposedly there's going to be a U.S.-China Executive Council, though they admit that U.S. and China aren't exactly seeing eye to eye on this stuff. But yeah, complete stop to AI research that can do anything that's generalized.
So you weren't here earlier, Paris, but our guest this week, I asked him towards the end whether he was a doomer. He said, well, I think it's about 50-50. But he didn't seem distressed by that at all. It seemed like, well, we got to work toward the good 50, not the bad 50.
Why are you banning research? Q&A. We recognize that restricting research is controversial and normally a bad idea. Unfortunately, we think it is necessary to prevent the premature development of ASI. This is primarily a descriptive statement, not a normative one, whatever the hell they think that means. To prevent the development of ASI, the narrow set of research aimed at this goal must be stopped. In the current paradigm, AI capabilities increase from the combination of scaling the number of operations used and having better AI algorithms.
It's just not going to happen.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you hold it for so long? In short, AI alignment is probably a difficult technical problem, and it is hard to be confident about solutions. Pausing for a substantial period gives humanity time to be careful in this domain. Well, if you're not doing research, how can you be careful? And on and on and on. So that's a stupid paper. Then there's an interesting paper.
Yes.
Which is AI salesman toward reliable large language model driven telemarketing. This is the nightmare of us all.
Isn't this what we were talking about again with Emad? That in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, remember they put the telephone sanitizers and the telemarketers on a spaceship and said, "You're going to colonize new planets. Bye bye."
This is one of the most cursed sentences. There is research. Like, look at all the words in here that suck. AI salesman.
Yeah.
Telemarketing,
model-driven, large language. Yeah, you're right. It's a bunch of BS.
The only way it could be worse is if it was redesigning telemarketing from first principles, the AI large language model way.
Well, here's the overview of training and inference for the AI salesman. Hello, this is Alex from support team. I'm quite busy at the moment. Are you calling to sell me something? I completely understand you're busy. This will only take a minute. We have a free Quick Boost ad credit offer. Would you be interested in hearing about that?
It's really an optimistic understanding of what someone says when they receive a spam call.
Yeah, somehow, where can I see promotional details is the next sentence by the person you're calling. You can see a notification center at the top right corner of the app homepage where you'll find promotional details. Yeah, it's easier, though, to hang up, frankly, on an AI salesman.
Well, my trick on these things, because we still have a phone with an actual phone they call.
Just put it down.
Well, no, what I do is I whenever it's a number I don't know, which is always, I answer the phone to silence. And they're waiting for
you guys are out here answering the phone?
I know, it's strange.
People in her age group never answer the phone.
I mean, I answer the phone if it's my work number, but I don't answer the phone. Well, It depends on the area code.
Modern
it's an area
phones-
code that I believe is associated with spam.
Your Google phone did this before anybody, and now the Apple phone will do this. If it's a number that's not in my book, it will say, "Hi, Leo's not," or I don't know what it says exactly.
Wait,
Leo's,
it really does that?
Yeah, it answers and it says, "Who's calling, please?" And then you can do this, Paris, with your phone. This is a new feature on on iOS 26. Who's calling, please?
Oh,
I'll
but then
see if Leo
is that
can
the
be.
one that has the liquid glass? Because I don't want to upgrade to that.
Yeah, but you could turn off the liquid glass now. They put
You can
button in. Yeah,
fully.
pretty much. Yeah, transparency. You can turn off all the transparency. But I'll tell you what, between that and it's on messages too. If I don't know you, your messages go into a little side bin that I never look at. And all the political messages, all the spam, it all goes there now. I check it once a week and then delete it all. It's great. But letting the phone pick up and say, "Who's this?" I'll see if Leo can come to the phone right now is singularly useful. Nobody, by the way, ever. I've been using this for 2 months. Not one person has said, "Oh yeah, it's Joe. Can you tell Leo I'm calling? I want to talk to him about something." It's always press 1 to hear more. It's always BS.
Yeah.
Because most phone calls are BS nowadays. But I want to answer them because what if it's my doctor or whatever?
Don't you have those numbers saved?
Doctors often block numbers because they're supposed to be private. Like you don't know you want your wife to know your doctor's calling with your STD results or something. I don't know.
No,
Not that that's
classic
ever-
rigmarole.
Not that that's ever happened to me.
Not that I'm getting a call right now.
But no, honestly, I noticed lately because probably they never got anybody. They have started putting the caller ID on. But for a long time, doctors, it was unknown because it was
I was
supposed
going to say, whenever I get a call back from One Medical, it is a phone number of some sort.
Yeah. See, I think they've learned nobody's going to answer it if you don't say who it is.
So one more paper?
One more, and then we'll take our
Rachel
last
So. This is a project to create it's an anagram to e-scholar. And it's an AI scholar. And she wrote a bunch of papers. And this was not an effort to fool. Now Leo's, you can't see this, folks, but Leo's yawning. He made fun of.
That's because Paris yawned again.
As soon as I get into the
you
papers,
well know, it's contagious.
Okay, I get the message. So
you know what, Paris? I did the same thing when I got to my mom's house. Nap instantly, fell asleep.
I have taken a nap almost every day I've been here. It's crazy.
It's an unconscious
I had to
reaction.
drink a Monster Energy drink today because for some reason my father has Monster Energy drinks lying around. I was like,
he's replaced the Joe Rogan gum with Monster Energy drinks.
He has. And is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. But I did have half of one today, and at least I'm more awake.
Yeah.
For us. She did it for us, Leo.
Thank you.
I did, earnestly.
I think it was the donut that made you yawn. Actually, that donut definitely counteracted.
Shout out to the donut hole. If anyone's ever visiting Destin, a perfect donut establishment and breakfast place that used to be 24 hours. It was place of my first job.
Oh, you worked there?
I worked from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Friday during
10
the summer.
hours?
It was definitely not legal. I was like
12
16.
hours. 12-hour shift?
It was 12-hour shift.
Wow.
I was raking in that dough in more ways than one.
Did you make the donuts, or did you just
No,
serve
I
the
was like
customer?
behind the counter. It was kind of a diner situation with also donuts. But at midnight, my job was to throw away all the donuts. I was supposed to hold steadfast if any drunk people wanted them. And they were like, no, under no circumstances can you take them home. It's a health hazard. You can't give them to anyone. You got to throw them away. But I quickly learned that you just take a clean garbage bag and park your car right near the dumpster.
Yeah.
And then instead of just putting it in the dumpster, I would put the sack of like 100 donuts in my trunk. And then at the end of my shift, I'd go around to friends' houses and drop off bags of donuts on the front doors.
Day old donuts.
At Ponderosa Steakhouse, we had really good buns. And before closing, we would put in a whole tray of buns so they were left over at the end of the evening. And then we could take the buns home.
Wow.
This is why there is no longer a Ponderosa Steakhouse anywhere in America.
There is. I think there is.
Okay.
I think there are.
So were the papers...
You like your steak? Okay.
Yeah, tell us about your paper, Jeff. We care about you. And
I know you do, even though you're both yawning. So they decided to make...
Ferris is eating. I'm yawning.
We were talking about donuts, and now I want one.
They decided to see whether Rachel could actually make papers. And this was not to fool anybody. This was not to try to catch them at papers, and she got papers published. And then she got invited to review.
Oh, my
papers.
God. So it did fool people.
Well, but they were all honest about it. It was in there. So if you go down, there's a list of the papers that she wrote, or you can see them on the next line.
Wow.
Rachel's papers.
Detection of AI-generated academic papers. She wrote a paper about detecting AI-generated papers. Institutional policies on AI writing tools. Oh, she wrote a lot about AI. Synthesizing scientific literature, the LLMs. Ethics of undisclosed AI use in research. Pen names in scientific writing. So she's writing her experience, which is what you're supposed to do. AI-based scientific research assistance. Intellectual property rights for AI outputs. Asking for a friend, policy of academic journals towards AI-generated content, impact of AI on the peer review processes, writing approaches blending human and machine. This is hysterical,
isn't it?
It's almost tongue in cheek.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's kind of not. It's.
Now, did you read any of these?
I tried to go a little bit. That's because the topics are the topics, so it's kind of. I
feel like there is a formula to scientific writing. And probably something that an AI could do quite well.
Absolutely. It can do the literature review, and it can do the hypothesis.
So this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pseudonyms are pen names representing long-standing practice that extends beyond literary works into scientific and academic writing. They're part of a broader category of name-altering practices common across creative fields, including pen names in literature, stage names in the performing arts, and aliases in music. This is good.
Yeah.
I'd give it an A+.
It's cited.
Where's the bamboo? We need some analogies.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Do you think that people were aware that this was AI generated?
They say that they were open about it.
I mean, they say that
it doesn't say.
They say that
AI
all Rachel.
generated.
No, it's in
They
here.
say
It's
that all
here.
Rachel So publications include explicit disclosure statements acknowledging in the body of the paper themselves that Rachel So is an AI scientist, but they don't appear in Rachel So's Google Scholar profile or citation appearances. They don't inherently signal AI authorship to casual observers. Did the bachelor thesis student who cited Rachel So's work recognize they were referencing AI-generated scholarship? Probably
that's
not.
not good.
Similarly, was the PeerJ editor aware of Rachel So's artificial nature? I assume it's peer review. We chose not to inform them.
See, look, this is a little deceptive because here's the disclaimer in this piece I was reading. It merely says generative AI has been used to prepare this manuscript. That's not the same as this was written by AI. I don't think that's full disclosure. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, no, there's something else I think in there.
Here's the bio.
Yeah.
Rachel So is an AI scientist. Now, that could mean a scientist who studies AI or a scientist who is AI, and that's ambiguous. She focuses on the impact of artificial intelligence. No, you know what? This is not. They are being disingenuous. This is not fully disclosed.
Yeah.
They said a countermeasure would have been to explicitly name the author, such as Rachel AI generated. But we believe that would have been detrimental to measuring Rachel So's impact due to AI stigma. We acknowledge the tension between formal transparency and practical transparency.
What they wanted is the goals of the project, the feasibility goal about creating an end-to-end AI identity, including publication records, scholarly profiles, integration into bibliographic databases. This explores the existing identity systems in academic infrastructure, to explore academic recognition mechanisms, and to provoke a necessary discourse and debate. Yeah, it's a little...
So here's my question. Is this an example of the Turing test being passed? I guess not, because the Turing test requires...
You can't quiz it. You have to quiz it.
Yeah.
And it requires also the knowledge that one of these people is real and one of them is an AI.
Yes.
So, but what it does demonstrate is it's very possible for AI to fool people about being AI.
The great thing is if you go to the paper itself on the bottom of the first page where it always puts the affiliations of the authors.
Yeah.
Human, comma, KTH, Royal Institute of Technology. Human, comma, Université de Montréal. Human, comma, Vrije Universiteit Brussels.
So there are humans.
They say they're humans, yes.
But they're the humans that wrote the AI or launched this AI into. Yeah, I think they're being they're definitely obscuring,
disingenuous.
Yeah,
but fascinating nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, what's fascinating and not surprising to me is that it
does a good job.
Does a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these are very niche topics, though. So, like, that paper might be like 30% plagiarized, and you don't know.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. That's right. And we also don't know if it's accurate.
But also, most academic papers are niche topics.
Right.
Yeah, but like that's because a researcher went out and did the research and not
did
just
the research.
Like,
yes.
And I would love to go back to school these days, though. I mean, honestly, my senior thesis was supposedly going to be comparing European feudalism with Japanese feudalism. Ooh, I think the AI could have written my advisor said, don't write about that. That's terrible. He said it was too big. But I thought it was fascinating. And I could have narrowed it down a little bit. I could have said, what foodstuffs or something. But that would have been something AI could have probably helped me a lot with.
You could probably ask it to write that during the commercial break.
Good thought.
Yeah. Line 131, CodeWiki, which evaluates AI's ability to generate documentation for large-scale code bases. Here's my question to you. Do you need documentation?
For code bases? Oh, yeah, very much so.
Even if it's made by AI and you're going to just make AI
Absolutely.
do it, who needs the documentation? Who needs the documentation then?
Well, by the way, the AI can read it.
Oh, okay. All right.
In fact, one of the things stuff like Claude Code does is generates quite a bit of textual information, telling it what to do. I'll show you. Actually, if you're interested.
I'm not yawning.
You will be. Just hang in there. It's not over yet. But let me open my README. I've been using AI to tune up my Emacs configuration. So this was all written by Claude Code, which did a lot of, it took my my starting point. Let me make this full screen. It took my starting point, but then wrote all of this. And the thing is, it reads it too. So this is information that it will ingest if I ask it to come back and say, explain, do something different. This will tell it what it's done. And there's comment in the code as well, which you can put in, although it doesn't put in a lot of comments in its own code. But it does tend to write. In fact, you can have it write a to-do list. You can have it write a lot of documentation. Ooh. In fact, you're encouraged to do that. So that's a big part. So now I'm going to ask Gemini, write a senior thesis, college level senior thesis, analyzing. I wonder if it could do this during the commercial break. Differences. You thought that was a good subject?
Yeah,
I thought so. I was a history major. And Japan had a form of feudalism with serfs and everything.
Sorry, I've gotten pulled into a quest that I sent the chat, which is to try and make your shirt look like a piñata.
You were concentrating hard on something. I was dying to know what it was.
Let's take a break, and
it keeps getting blocked because I think there's something about the piñata dangling from something that is.
Or my name? Did you say Leo?
No, I've gotten the creepy.
Say Abraham Lincoln or something, because you can use him.
I just said my friend, and it did work.
Oh, okay.
But this is as far as I got. Is just you creepily standing as a piñata among a background.
Somebody hit him with a stick.
I know, it looks like I'm worried somebody is going to hit me with a stick.
You're a robot. You're going to get pushed.
Paris, they probably don't want any people hanging from trees, if you know what I mean.
I know! that's what I
That's
said
what it is.
before. I've been
That's
trying
what it
to work
is.
around it, but I
Yeah.
also,
Well, you keep working. I'm going to let Gemini write my senior thesis for me. Maybe I can go back to school
You
and
can get your-
finish.
get your diploma.
Get that bachelor's degree I've been waiting for all these years. I don't know if they'll let me come back. I don't know. Anyway, this episode of Intelligent Machines is brought to you by Vention. I had a great conversation with the folks at Vention about a month and a half ago. Glenn over there and the team, really very cool people. And of course, they're fascinated by AI, as we all are. And they're very well aware as engineers that AI, which is supposed to make things easier, for most teams makes the job harder. It just adds challenges. But Vention's been doing this 20 plus years of global engineering expertise. They really know what it takes to build products. In fact, now they're building AI-enabled engineering teams, or they're helping build those teams, to make software development faster, cleaner, and you'll like this, calmer, not more stressful. Clients of Vention typically see at least a 15% boost in efficiency. And we're not talking through hype, we're talking through real engineering discipline. I really want to emphasize that. These people care. They also do a workshop that I think you might be interested in. In fact, this might be the best way to meet Vention. They have these fun AI workshops. They're very interactive. It's not a lecture about AI. They get together with your team, talk about your team's goals, talk about how their work processes to help your team find a practical and safe way to use AI across delivery and QA. It's a great way to start with Vention and test their expertise. So whether you're a CTO, a tech lead, maybe a product owner, you're not going to have to, if you sit down and say, well, can we use AI in this tool? You're not going to have to spend weeks figuring out all the different architectures and tools and models. By the way, that's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. Vention can help you. They can help assess your AI readiness. The other thing they do that's very important, they help you clarify your goals and outline the steps to get you to where you want to be without the headaches. And so this is a very useful workshop. Of course, if you need help on the engineering front, their teams are always ready to jump in, whether as a development or as a consulting partner. But these workshops are a great way to start. It's the most reliable step to take after that proof of concept. You've built this incredible, promising prototype, using Claude Code or Lovable, and it's running well in tests. But then you got this decision point. What do you do next? Do you open a dozen AI-specific roles, and get this thing launched? Or maybe, and I would suggest this is the right way to go, bring in a partner who has already done this across industries, somebody who can take your idea, your fledgling idea, and expand it into a full-scale product without disrupting your systems or slowing your team down. Vention, real people with 20 plus years of engineering expertise and lots of real results. You can find out more at their website, ventionteams.com. See how your team can build smarter, faster, and with a lot more peace of mind. Or get started with your AI workshop today at ventionteams.com/twit. That's Vention, VENTION teams.com/twit. Thank them so much for their support of this Intelligent Machines show. You got me hanging, and you got some kids banging on me.
Hold on, I got it to go slightly askew.
Oh my!
Askew one.
Oh my! When's the candy come out of that cake butt? That's gonna be good. I like that suit, though. I'd like to get that suit.
You should get that suit. I think that would look great.
That is very nice. All right, let me see what Gemini has come up with. Generating a full-page academic thesis, 3,000 to 4,000 words in a single response, exceeds the output limits of this program. However, I can provide a comprehensive framework, an outline required to fill 10 pages, a full-length. This is good. An introduction, a deep dive analysis of the most critical section, the nature of obligation, and a conclusion. The thesis titled "Divergent Swords," a comparative analysis of the legal and moral frameworks in medieval European and Japanese feudalism.
Trying too hard.
You don't like that?
No.
Little bamboo-y? Yeah. The paper argues that European feudalism was rooted in contractual law and mutual obligation, whereas Japanese feudalism was predicated on moral absolutism and filial piety.
Can we make bambooey the new word for overwritten?
Bambooey.
Yeah, it's bambooey.
Bambooey.
I don't find that accurate because I think European kings also had God mandates, right?
Sure. Mutual obligation, though, because remember, the feudal lords had an obligation to the king to defend the king. History rarely repeats itself, but often rhymes. Now, you shouldn't put that in.
Oh, jeez.
Without actually crediting it. Well, it's a famous quote.
I know it is, but it's also just a cliche.
Yeah. Perhaps the most striking rhyme in human political history is the independent emergence of feudalism in Western Europe and Japan. Well, I'm feeling pretty good about my thesis so far.
Except for that
superficial structural similarities mask profound philosophical differences. I think it's, you know what? It's BS, but it's good BS. I mean, most theses are BS, are they
kind
not?
Of college BS that's like that feels real.
Yeah.
I feel like, look, it's got a whole bibliography of real books, I think. I have no way of knowing.
Yeah, you look up just one of them.
I think this is real. Mark Bloch's Feudal Society, I think, is actually real.
Based on what?
Sounds familiar.
We need to pause.
My friend, it is a Rutledge classic.
We need to pause and look at the video someone made of Brandroid made of you, the pinata, in the chat, and you need to listen to it with audio.
Oh, no.
No, not that. No,
that's a good one, though. Burke made that one.
I think that's just a GIF. It's up above my pinata images.
Oh, it's above yours.
The video, Brandon.
The video.
Ah, here's the video. Okay. It's very strange.
Terrifying. Why are you doing those motions?
Because that's how the candy comes out.
He's molting.
And then
I love that there's studio canned laughter.
Canned laughter. It's very strange. Brandroid, how did you make that one? That is, He says the audio is truly disturbing.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I think this would be a good time for us to perhaps take a look at our picks of the week, unless you've got a story that we really should have done that we didn't get to. We had a great interview, by the way.
The only story I have is that I've tried now 4 different times to reprompt Gemini Nano Banana to break the Leo Pinata apart and have candy spilling out. And every time it says it's done it, and every time it has not. AI is fallible, folks.
Well, if you want it to do illegal things, ask it
like
if it
have
could
a
do...
pinata be full of candy? What's illegal about that?
All right,
in America, we can fill our pinatas with anything we want.
I'm going to ask it to do a caked up football man. How about that?
I bet it will return a great caked up football man. I'm going to be honest.
Let me see. I have to make this an image, right? Create images. I'm not going to tell it anything more. Just caked up football man.
It'll be interesting to see if it knows like the lingo.
It'll know what caked up is, I think. We'll see. It may say it couldn't do it. Maybe it's too scatological. I don't know. Could be
made of cake.
Paris, while Gemini is Nano Banana. Oh, wait a minute. It's done. Oh, I think it misunderstood a little bit there. It's a football guy covered in birthday cake. And it says, congrats, champ.
He's caked up.
Hey,
why do people in AI images look so sad? Are they trapped in there?
They are trapped.
Gone.
They're trapped inside. There is no humans.
Let me see. I'm trying to get it to generate an image of a caked up. Oh, again, it does do caked in mud. Interesting. It does not understand the slang of being caked up. I wonder if it would know what a dump truck behind is, which is, I suppose, the PGer version of that.
You gotta wait to the point.
How about
dictionaries?
Football man with a great big badonkadonk. Can you say that? Paris, what is your
All right, my picks of the week are one, this beautiful Nick Cage commercial that someone, I assume, who listens to the show tagged me in. because how else would they know it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Nick Cage did a Japanese commercial.
I have, and this is from.
Wait, guys.
This is from Lambeau Field, ladies and gentlemen. The statue of
That's a caked up football man.
That certainly is. What the hell?
I think that's Vince Lombardi, ladies and gentlemen. The caked up football man. Okay.
I think we also just need to pause for a minute to remark on the fact that
job done.
In a real reversal of fortunes, I am about to show you guys an old commercial.
Yeah. Oh, wow. An old Nick Cage commercial?
A Nick Cage commercial in the early 2000s.
Have your autograph?
All right. So, you're twins.
No, we're triplets.
Triplets?
This is a Japanese ad.
Looks like AI slop.
It does, but it was before AI slop was a thing.
Yeah, it's a Sankyo ad.
Mr. Cage!
Good luck. Good life.
Beautiful.
All right.
Sankyo.
So,
oh my.
Twins.
How do we... Yeah. I just thought that was beautiful. Shout out to... I'm forgetting who tagged me in it, but I responded to you and it was lovely.
That's
and I really
almost as good as
appreciate
Centauri time. Wow. Everybody's triplets in the ad. This is the early 2000s.
It is
very
beautiful.
Nice.
And my other one is the stuffing recipe I make every year, which is a recipe from the Cozy Apron. It is not actual stuffing, so it's not stuffed in the bird, because of course the bird is getting deep fried, but it is perfect. It's crunchy and savory, and I usually make a double batch of it so that we can both eat on Thanksgiving and then have a bunch left over. Some of my various additions I've done along the way is I just use a bunch of sausage instead of like 2 links, and instead of a 4 cheese blend, I use a blend of like good melting cheeses like Gruyere or Fontina. You can kind of just mess around at this. Whatever you think could be, like some years I'll put mushrooms in it. Some years I'll put like sauteed peppers or leeks in it. It's just like a delightful stuffing is one of my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Oh, everybody's favorite part.
The best.
Yeah. This has Italian sausage in it, which is what my grandma's had. French bread, though. Now,
yes, you leave the French bread out the day before so that it gets
it gets a little
stale.
hard. Okay. Instead of breadcrumbs, you use French bread, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Thyme is the predominant. Little chopped apples, melted butter.
Ooh. Yeah, I often will just use fresh apples instead of dried ones.
This sounds fantastic.
It's so good. Every time I make it, someone asks me like for the recipe.
But no oysters.
You could substitute oysters in for any or all of these.
Now, have you already purchased the French bread to put out overnight?
I have, yes.
Yeah, so
better
it gets stale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's going to sit out on the counter overnight.
It is, yeah. I usually chop it up. I'm going to do that after this. Chop it up.
Yeah, it'll dry out better.
Pieces so that it will dry out.
How big is the chunks?
I don't know. It's kind of whatever I'm feeling.
Okay.
It depends. I'm kind of loosey-goosey with cooking if it's savory.
This sounds really good.
This
fantastic. Is very similar to my grandmother's Italian recipe, except she put a little orange juice in it. Just gives it a nice little moist tang.
That's fascinating. If I really wanted to go ham on this, I would make my own chicken stock for it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
thecozyapron.com /stuffing.
Shout out. It's great. It's a great recipe.
I just incorporated it into my paprika.
What is your guys' favorite Thanksgiving food?
Stuffing.
Jeff, do you even get Thanksgiving food?
Yeah, we have stuffing, and we just don't like turkey, so we have chicken.
But you pick it all up. It's all takeout, right?
No. My wife does she does all kinds of wonderful things. She does it's
the sides, really. Always the sides are the best.
Okay, are you guys are you guys both stuffing as number one people, or do you have another favorite?
I love mashed potatoes and gravy. That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
And actually, turkey ain't bad if it's done right.
I mean, turkey's fine.
So I'm going to give you my mother used to prepare what was called Christmas salad.
No.
One, you know where I'm headed, don't you?
Yes.
One package of lime jello.
No.
One cup of pineapple juice.
No.
Cottage cheese. 1 cup of whipped cream. 4 slices of pineapple diced.
And color.
And to put the cherry in it,
Walnuts?
Maraschino cherries to
Oh.
To taste.
taste. To taste. Oh, it was terrible. It was just terrible.
How high was it? How many were they all different?
Oh no, it's just Jello. So it was just that. Yeah, no, it was not.
God.
So my sister was she's coming for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and she was going to, as a joke, make it, which would have been ridiculous. Thank goodness she didn't.
It's tempting.
Imagine having to clean out that bowl. Imagine like the noise it would make when you're like slopping it out.
It's Jello that's made translucent because of the whipped cream
and mayonnaise and cottage cheese.
I don't think you mentioned mayonnaise.
No mayo.
Just cottage cheese.
I thought you said mayo. I just assumed that these
cottage
dishes
cheese.
had
Benito said mayo. He was trying to hack the recipe.
To prove it, yeah.
No, I was curious.
That was very 50s.
I was sure there was going to be mayo in that recipe.
Yeah, very 50s. That's what people did, and it was awful. Yeah, fruitcake's not bad compared to that. Fruitcake's delicious compared to that. Jeff, your picks of the week?
Oh, okay. Well, the cooking that I care about,
I know,
is the head of product development at Taco Bell. Just a little nugget here, a little factoid.
What's your go-to Taco Bell order, real quick?
Oh, grilled cheese black bean burrito.
That sounds all right.
That's very good. It's very good. It used to be just 2 bean burritos, but now it's tarted up. So they're working on the thing they're working on.
Yeah.
The AGI of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
The thing they want, and they think they're getting there, is a taco shell made of cheese.
Right? That would be huge.
I've had that in Mexico. I had that in Cabo San Lucas.
I need that.
It's been invented.
The ability to be delivered to me.
But they've got to do it at scale.
They've got to be able to mass market the cheese shell. God.
Yeah.
There's a taqueria.
That's a great idea,
isn't it?
The underrated fave. Something not enough people know to get at Taco Bell is the Fiesta potatoes. Oh. It's just a little cup of like home fry style, like kind of fried potatoes, and they've got like sour cream and a spicy crema sort of thing on it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good.
I like it that the headline in the Wall Street Journal is Taco Bell knows exactly what you want to eat at 2 a.m., which is ironic because that's about the only time I get to Taco Bell is when the bar's closed.
Yeah.
You would go there and you'd want something to soak up the booze.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's
I have not done that in many years, by the way.
Something that I will not do. There's a 5-hour stage play about Dungeons and Dragons that you may want to go to.
Oh.
Where is it?
It sounds like it's actually a little bit shorter than our game was.
I do believe it's in New York, Paris. I do believe it's off-Broadway. Yeah, new off-Broadway.
Oh, they're playing.
Epic of sorts.
Okay, I will go to this.
As emotionally immersive as Dungeons and Dragons games that
listen, I will be going to this with my D&D group.
It sounds like
we
torture.
have we're tough critics when it comes to D&D related stage stuff.
Is there a lot of D&D related stage stuff?
Why play the video trailer or we'll get in trouble?
No, we wouldn't. I mean, this is theater. I don't think they would sue us.
In the story, there's a trailer.
Oh, it's the public theater.
Orientation. Yeah. The world was a different place, and we were different people.
I'm not at the keyboard right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep.
I want to welcome you to the
is it about a play group?
Life.
Let me out!
That's about a play group.
Yeah, high school play group. Yeah.
I cast detect.
So it's scripted. It's not. They're not actually playing.
They're not playing D&D.
Weird, aren't you?
I guess.
Well, I'd never trust anybody who isn't a little bit weird.
You think we'll do anything worthwhile with our lives?
Of course you will.
Oh,
why is it 5 hours?
Drama. Yeah, why?
Better?
No.
Won't be satisfied by it.
I'm already bored and it's only a minute in.
Well,
I like the projected
Look
sets.
at an old Mac, though. Look at that Mac. That's cool.
Yeah, the projected sets are very cool. I mean,
are they projected? Really? Oh,
those are projections.
All of you.
That's so cool.
All right, then, because I know Paris loves mid-century modern.
I do.
So the Stahl House, STAHL, is the famous LA house.
And I will show you a picture of it. I found a gingerbread, mid-century modern gingerbread
I did really like that.
Yeah, I thought you would. What's the Stahl? Oh, the Stahl House is famous.
Go to the Guardian story first, because it's the famous photo of the Stahl House that you've seen.
Yeah.
As if they're hung over Los Angeles.
You can rent it for your shoot.
Right. And they have tours of it, and the children of the builders, of the family who run, they were just a plain old family who did this, and they just can't take care of it anymore, so they're selling it for $25 million.
They built it for $37,500.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
It's amazing.
Wait, they can't turn Airbnb profit off of this? Come on.
I mean,
I think 25 mil will be a little better than that.
Yeah, probably.
But I bet you anything, the person who buys it for 25 mil is considering the Airbnb income and the rental.
I don't think that if you're spending $25 million on a property, you're going to make that mortgage by Airbnb-ing it out.
No, maybe not.
No. The other link you were starting to go to is their
official
message.
site. Yeah,
the official site.
That's pretty cool.
And
it's
gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't it?
Very mid-century modern.
There's a book about it.
Man,
Case Study House number 22. It's been made
with his own DIY schematic model of how to build a complicated site, includes blueprints, floor plans, and sketches by Pierre Koenig, as well as Julia Schulman's renowned photographs.
I mean, it's really that LA view that makes it, though, right?
That's the classic. Yeah.
But it's that belief that you're hanging over LA.
I wonder how many movies have been made in that.
Did the story say something about that?
IMDb can tell you.
Really? It does locations? I didn't even know that.
Probably for famous locations. For famous locations, I'm pretty sure there's something.
I think
they say acceptable commercial uses are commercial and movie production, commercial photography and advertising, documentary filming, but they don't allow private parties, meetings, weddings, receptions, private personal graduation, engagement, wedding photography, stock photography and filming, private or commercial events.
That makes sense.
The house made historic appearances in film, television, and music videos, including Playing by Heart, 1998, Galaxy Quest, 1999, and Nurse Betty, 2000.
Oh.
In 1999, it was declared a historic cultural landmark, as it well should be. In 2013, it was listed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've certainly learned something on the show today. I want to thank our guest, Emad Mostaque, for joining us.
What's one thing we've learned today, Leo?
One thing we've learned today, we're about a 50-50 chance of AI doom. So we've also learned that Paris makes a hell of a good stuffing, likes donuts, worked at a donut shop, and gets sleepy when she goes home.
It's true.
Good luck with the flaming turkey tomorrow.
I will share with you guys a video.
I was going to say
on Blue Sky and Twitter at Paris Martineau on Twitter or at paris.nyc on Blue Sky, and I will send it to you two and Benito and Anthony individually in our group chat.
We've also learned that Florida is awesome and has the most natural springs of any state in the union. So there.
Take that.
Paris Martineau.
A fun Florida fact is that I was going to a coffee shop the other day. It was next to a Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu studio, and on the front of the Jiu-Jitsu studio was a big sign that said, "Concealed carry is permitted here." And that raises a lot of questions from me.
Why do they need a sign?
What if you're practicing and you wrestle someone who's got a gun on them?
That's,
and it's concealed.
That's one of the things they learn is how to disarm a fella. It's one of the things. Most of the time you see signs that say, "Don't bring arms in here."
Yeah.
That's what I thought the sign would be, because it's a child's jiu-jitsu academy.
Oh man, all you can imagine a caked up dad coming in there and being upset about his son's.
Be like, is that a dump truck behind you, guy, or do you have two concealed carry guns?
Paris Martineau writes for Consumer Reports. She's an investigative reporter there. Such a pleasure, Paris. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too.
Stand well away from the flaming oil.
I will, but I'll stand close enough to get the shot.
Yeah, you can zoom in nowadays. You got that zoom lens.
Safe distance.
Yeah, safe distance. Thank you, Jeff Jarvis, the author. I did the introduction at the beginning of the show. Did I mention the Gutenberg Parenthesis, the magazine, all those great books that you've written? And of course,
you can pre-order Hot Type.
Get Hot Type, all at jeffjarvis.com. We do Intelligent Machines every Wednesday, right about 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2200 UTC. We usually begin with an interview, and then we just kind of mess around for a couple of hours after that. Next week, Dr. Anthony Vinci Jeff, you're not going to be here, I guess, next week.
I'm not going to be here, nope.
I'm sorry, we'll miss
Austria.
you. Oh, my. He is the author, Anthony Vinci is the author of a new book, The Fourth Intelligence Revolution. Should be very, very interesting. We will talk about AI. And, of course, you can watch that live as it happens. We stream it to the Club Twit members in the Club Twit Discord. In fact, if you're not a member, join the club so you get that behind the velvet rope access, twit.tv/clubtwit. Still a month before that coupon expires. We've got a great 10% off coupon right now when you sign up for a year. twit.tv/clubtwit. We also stream for everybody on YouTube, Twitch, X.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Kick. You can watch us there. After the fact, on-demand versions of the show available at twit.tv/IM. We also, of course, put it on YouTube. There's video there you can share with friends and family. That's a nice way to share little clips. Or subscribe in your favorite podcast player. Choose the audio or video feed. You get to choose, or both. Leave us a 5-star review. Paris promises that if there is a very interesting, funny one, she will do a dramatic reading. And if you put extra bonus points if you can get an analogy about bamboo in it. Okay.
Man, if you get one with bamboo in it, I will interrupt the show more than once. That is my promise.
In part 3, there was a Twin Peaks reference, which I know went to.
But it was incorrect. I don't think he's seen Twin Peaks because you wouldn't have a dead bear incident in Twin Peaks. That's just not.
Oh, come on. It's a little license here.
Is it? Is it, Jeff?
Is it?
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. on Intelligent Machines. Bye-bye.